World Series rematch.
Those last two games at the Rogers Center, Game 6 and 7, were two of the most epic playoff World Series games.
Those Canadians, they can't wait to boo every one of those Dodgers.
Max Scherzer pacing as always until he gets the go-ahead, the thumbs up, that it is time to take the field. Good luck getting him to sit still in a moment like this. He came back to compete. He came back to pitch in games like this. And it's no accident, Joe, that the Blue Jays line things up for Scherzer, Gausman, and Cease to pitch in this series. Shohei Ohtani, who had such a great World Series offensively, hit .333, hit some home runs, got on base 9 times in the 18-inning game. And as much as the fans here and everywhere respect him, I think he's going to get welcomed rather unceremoniously. That's what you call a lay. Off the end of the bat to center field, and that ball is going to be caught by a sliding Dalton Varsho.
A 3-1 to Kyle Tucker. Taken upstairs, ball 4. First base runner for L.A.
And the only Dodger to get a majority amount of cheers in the pregame festivities is now digging in. It's the former Blue Jay Teoscar Hernandez.
Hernandez lifts a fly ball down the left field line. If it's fair, it's got a chance. It's gone. Teoscar Hernandez opens the scoring with a 2-run blast. Flashbacks for Max Scherzer, Game 3 last year at Dodger Stadium.
That one a fastball. This one tonight a breaking ball. And it looked like Teo recognized it early and slowed his swing down tonight just to meet it. It wasn't a powerful swing. It was a well-timed swing, perfectly on the barrel.
We saw Robleski pitch in relief in his season debut 1 week ago. He was 1 pitch away from having a spotless 4 innings.
And that's high, a leadoff walk for Springer. Here's Guerrero, who hit his first home run of the season on Saturday. You can see solid numbers, a good average. He's taking his walks, and he hits it a long way to the opposite field. Caught at the wall by Tucker. Springer is back in time as Guerrero hit it right to the wall, but a good play made by Tucker. Robleski pumped up, a foot, maybe 2 away from at least being an extra base hit off the wall. And he pulls a base hit through the left side. Springer up to second.
You get a guy like Robleski that's throwing a lot of fastballs. You look for it, and if you get it, hit it hard. That's exactly what he did.
2 on, 2 out, and it's the almost hero, Ernie Clement. You can still put the hero label on him with what he did through the postseason, setting a record 30 hits.
Little looper right center. It's going to drop. Springer around third and in to score, and the Blue Jays have their first run of the night.
Ernie just gets hits, keeps getting hits. He finds a little spot in shallow right center field, and that is a big 2-out base hit with a runner in scoring position.
Bases loaded, second walk of the inning, 3 straight 2-out base runners.
I think this visit is about don't be so fine. Your stuff is good enough. Yeah, they hit 1 ball hard. The blooper beat you. But the main thing that's beating you right now are deep counts and walks.
Robleski deals, Straw grounds one towards the middle. Kim takes it himself and ends the inning.
We have a development. This is moments ago. Max Scherzer, John Schneider, conversation, handshake. For whatever the reason it may be, Scherzer is out of the game after 2 innings. This is from the top of the first inning after he struck out Freddie Freeman on a fastball at about 91. He looks into the dugout. I'm okay. Now, was that 100% about the fact that the velocity was down? We don't know for sure.
He's dealing with little forearm tendonitis. I want to say very but fairly to quite fairly confident he'll make his next start, and that was kind of the thinking in taking him out.
Well, one of the million things that happened in that Game 7 was between these two guys, where it looked like Jimenez tried to get hit on one pitch, sort of stuck his hand out, and the next pitch actually did get hit by Robleski. And the bench is cleared.
The hitter is yelling, throw the ball over the plate, come on. And the pitcher is yelling, I didn't try to hit you. What are you reacting like that for? Go stand on first base.
To right center field, Pages is shaded to left center, but he gets there easily. Blue Jays feel cursed. Max Scherzer has left the game after 2 innings. Jays already have 4 starting pitchers on the injured list. And now Scherzer leaves after 2 innings, and the crowd just getting wind of this. Dribbled in front of the plate and a throwaway. Ohtani's going to turn the corner and go to second. More sloppy Blue Jays defense. A lot of that has been the pitchers and their fielding. And so Fleming will fit right in with that. Grounder down the line, picked by Vlad Jr. He'll shovel it off to Fleming, who beats Tucker. Up to third goes Ohtani.
Freeman is 0 for 1 today with a swinging strikeout, but he's also Major League Baseball's active hits leader.
They'll probably be careful with him, even with Teoscar standing on deck.
Well, he certainly keeps going into these lefties with that sinker, and he's making sure he gets it in there. Same thing with Freddie Freeman. You better make sure it's in or in off.
3-2 comes home. Freeman drills a ball in the air, right center field. How far will it go? Big man power, Freddie Freeman.
That's what I was worried about with these sinkers to the left-handed hitters, both to Tucker and then to Freeman. It looked like the game plan. They wanted to try to get it in there. Now he's going away. See, Heineman wanted it away, and he knew right away. Look at Tyler's reaction. Because he knows that if you're going away and you miss into these dangerous hitters, you could be in big trouble. And Heineman knew right away when they missed their spot, that ball's not coming back.
First 2-1 at the bottom of the order with the top coming up.
That could be a very costly walk.
That also means you got to go right at Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani hits it high in the air to right center field. Did not get all this. Varsho camped out in front of the warning track by about 15 feet. He makes the catch. Both runners tagging, and both runners advance. Ha-Seong Kim, aggressive, going from first to second. In there safely with a head first slide. Rushing goes from second to third.
And that's what you'll love to see. Take advantage of speed.
That'll draw the Blue Jay infield in again, and Kyle Tucker's up.
Now Tucker goes down to get one. Hit high in the air to right field. Carrying back. This one is on the warning track, and it's caught by Varsho. Plenty deep enough to get the job done. Rushing tags and scores. Kim tags and gets to third. Sac fly for Kyle Tucker. The Dodgers now lead 5-1.
Boy, you just really like the way the Dodgers are playing the game. You know, you get them over, you take advantage of opportunities, you take advantage of mistakes, and then you do the little things. Keep the ball off the ground, get a run in, even trade it out for a run.
And now the Dodgers have him cornered with nobody out in the fifth.
Well, the Dodgers just taking care of business when they've had the opportunity.
First and third, no outs, 5-1 Dodgers. Alex Freeland takes a big breath, as he digs in.
Freeland shoots it up the middle. Clement has it, steps on the bag, over to first for two. Run comes in, and it's 6-1.
Shohei 1 for 3 today with a base hit and a run scored. The on-base streak extended to 41.
Ohtani digs it out, sends it in the air, center field. Varsho back. It is gone to center field. Ohtani's third in 4 games on the trip.
Joe, he's a pretty good hitting pitcher.
Yeah.
We'll see him in Game 3 on the mound. In Game 1 here in Toronto, you get to see this.
2-1, 2-out. Andy Pages is the batter, the National League Player of the Week.
Driven to right center field by Pages. Straw and Varsho on the run. Won't get there. Pages is knocked in 2 more with a double. And the Dodgers unloading on the Blue Jays in this World Series rematch. Good times for the Dodgers in this game. They've scored in 5 of their 6 offensive innings and lead 9-1. Dalton Rushing has reached base all 3 times. 2 hits, and he was hit. And drills a ball to right center field for the second time in as many days has hit it out. Dalton Rushing with his best 2-day stretch in the big leagues. Double digits for LA again. Kim trying to use his speed to get on, and he does. Infield hit for Kim.
The 0-1 Tucker breaks his bat, sends one down the right field line, and it's a fair ball, blooped over the head of Guerrero. And so Kim holds at second base. Third hit of the inning, first and second.
Freeman lifts a ball to right field and deep. Straw running back on it to the track, to the wall, and watches it hit off the wall. Kim will score. Freeman to second with a double. They're pouring it on. It's 11-1. Second extra base hit of the game for Freddie Freeman, his 5th in 4 games on the trip. And he's knocked in 9 in those 4. No big deal to have a bad week, but the games all count the same. And in what promises to be a really hotly contested American League East, look back at the end when you're in a tight race and maybe it doesn't go your way by a game or 2. You're going to look back to getting swept by the White Sox, losing 2 of 3 to the Rockies. At that point, the excuse, well, it's early and just a slow start, that doesn't make it feel any better. That ball's pummeled to right center field. 2 more runs are going to score. Teoscar Hernandez has knocked in 4 today. 13-1. Monster day going for rushing. 3 for 3 with a home run. Cranks another. He's got a second bomb. Who is this guy? Dalton Rushing exploding. Well, it was one Dodger catcher that won the World Series the last time they were in this ballpark. He gets the rest today. And the other one goes deep twice as part of a 4-for-4 night. Well, the history of Dodgers and Blue Jays Game 7 of the World Series has been followed by a game where Tyler Heineman pitched the top of the ninth and Miguel Rojas will pitch the bottom of the ninth.
All right, bases loaded for the number 9 hitter, Andres Gimenez.
Left side, Muncy. Only play is at first. That's a tough play. Him to shift those hips like that. Varsho's into scores.
Grocery bills, gas prices, finance rates. Not all payments are scary. With so many other prices going up, Volkswagen is bringing their finance rates down with 0% financing for up to 60 months on the Taos and up to 24 months on all other 2026 models like the Tiguan, Atlas, and more. Head to your local Volkswagen dealer now before offers end April 30th. Conditions apply, only on approved credit. Volkswagen.
Meet iPhone 17e. A whole lot for a lot less. With an almighty, all-powerful A19 chip. And Ceramic Shield 2, built to survive this. And this. And a 48-megapixel fusion camera with 2 times optical quality zoom. And double the starting storage of iPhone 16e. And long-lasting battery life for hours of watching the studio.
That's the dream!
And it comes with Apple Intelligence. And you can charge it with USB-C or with MagSafe accessories.
CJCL Toronto. This
slams a ball to right field, way back, way gone!
Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second, the throw! In time!
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
A big day today at Rogers Center. A rematch, game 2 of the series, rematching the 2025 World Series with the Dodgers in town and the anniversary of the first ever Blue Jays game at Exhibition Stadium. We welcome you in to Rogers Center today as the Blue Jays take on the Dodgers, trying to even up this set. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRouche. Show Ali is our host and producer tonight. Andrew Adams and Tom Young, our technical directors. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center in Alliston and Orangeville, Ontario. Protect your vehicle with Canada's #1 rust protection. Find your local Crown Rust Control family at crown.com. Well, speaking of a World Series rematch, for the third time inside about 5 months, we will see a big pitching matchup. Kevin Gausman goes for the Blue Jays against Yoshinobu Yamamoto once again. We got lineup standings, first pitch on the other side. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Summer bookings are off to the races. And if you're still thinking about it, ambitious. Book early with Sunwing and get a $100 voucher per pair. Plus excursion discounts, resort perks, and more. So while everyone else is doing last-minute vacation gymnastics, yeah, you don't want to do that. You're saving on room upgrades, tours, and all the good stuff. So book by April 12th with your local travel advisor or at... Conditions apply. See sunwing.ca for details.
Recently, our company's softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or the gambling of someone close to you, please go to connectsontario.ca. T&C supply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
5 strikeouts in 4 scoreless innings for Eric Lauer.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikes him out on an elevated heater at 95, and there are 2 down. Now the 2-2. Called strike 3. 96 on the bottom of the zone. A perfect pitch to Freeze Caros. 4th strikeout for Gausman. 3 perfect innings. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. 97 miles an hour from Kevin Gausman. His fastest fastball of the day. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Doubled up on the splitter. 10 strikeouts for Gausman in 6 shutout innings. Kevin Gausman off to quite a hot start to the year. Those were the sounds of his last outing for the Blue Jays. He's about to make his 3rd start after pitching against Colorado on the 1st. We welcome you back into Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. It'll also be another matchup of Kevin Gausman against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They did it twice in the World Series last year. And Chris, for the Blue Jays, Yamamoto is about as big of a handful as there is in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it should be another fun one with Gausman and Yamamoto out there. And both of those guys are pitching really, really well right now. With that being said, this is a tough matchup for the Toronto Blue Jays, specifically because where they're at offensively. This is a guy with 6 pitches that he can control very, very well. And it all comes down to that split finger. That's the pitch that he throws really in any count, in any location. He gets a ton of swing and misses on that pitch. You have to be patient against him. You have to lay off the split finger and hammer that fastball when you get it in the strike zone. He doesn't throw many mistakes, but the key to success against Yamamoto is be patient, work counts, and I've said this before, Ben, and I know that a lot of people don't love this style of baseball, but when you're struggling offensively and you're facing a guy like Yoshinobu Yamamoto, maybe small ball might work. You get a guy on base, you move the runner, you bunt him over, and you play for 1, 2, hopefully 3 runs.
Although the first trick is getting on base against him, which is not the easiest. Here come the Blue Jays in their royal blue jerseys, white pants, and blue caps. And Kevin Gausman will be the starter for Toronto. Before we get to him, though, let's take a look at the standings watch presented by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Yankees lead the AL East 7-2 with the Rays in second, 5-5. Orioles already played and won today, so they're 5-6, jumping ahead of the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are 4-6, and the Red Sox are 2-8. The Dodgers have a Major League best 8-2 record. Kevin Gausman warming up for a Dodgers lineup managed by Dave Robertson, his 11th season with LA. He'll lead off Shohei Ohtani, the DH. Right fielder Kyle Tucker hits second. The catcher is Will Smith. He'll bat third. First baseman Freddie Freeman hits fourth. Left fielder Teoscar Hernandez hits fifth. And center fielder Andy Pages bats sixth. Hitting 7th at the hot corner is Max Muncy. The shortstop hitting 8th, Miguel Rojas. And batting 9th, the second baseman, Alex Freeman. Yamamoto, we mentioned, will be on the hill today for the Dodgers. We'll get to the Blue Jay lineup in the bottom half of the inning. But Gausman, Chris, has been as good as anyone in baseball. His ERA is at .75 through 2 starts in 12 innings. He's allowed 1 run. He has struck out 21 batters in those 12 innings.
Yeah, and I think the most impressive thing is the fact that he hasn't walked anybody. 0 walks, 21 strikeouts. I mean, this could be the best couple of games I've seen him throw over the course of his career. This guy's 35 years old, and he's still pitching like he's in his prime. I mean, I'm really, really looking forward to this pitching matchup. Yamamoto, Gausman for the 3rd time in the last 5 months. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
It should be a good one.
New baseball for Kevin Gausman. He catches it in his light blue glove and awaits Shohei Ohtani as we get started in a first inning that's brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. The fans in Toronto greet Shohei Ohtani as they still get into their seats here at Rogers Center. Gausman brings his hands together, bouncing his lead left foot. He stops now, kicks and deals. First pitch, low, ball 1. Time of the first pitch today, 7:08 Eastern. The roof closed, and it's even chillier today in downtown Toronto. It's 1 degree outside right now at the time of first pitch. (1-0). Down and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Calling balls and strikes tonight is Dan Merzel, crew chief Dan Bellino at first, Mark Ripperger at second, and Shane Livensparger at third. Heavy shift toward first base. The 2-0 is outside, 3 balls and no strikes.
A couple of pretty good fastballs. That one just missing off the plate at about 96 miles an hour.
3-0 count. Ohtani could have the green light given that he's a 4-time MVP. The pitch. Outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Ohtani to start the day. Kevin Gausman became the first pitcher since at least 1900 to have 10-plus strikeouts and no walks in each of his first 2 starts, but he will not make it 3 in a row as he walks the first batter here of his 3rd start.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to get it out of the way.
It's
tired of people talking about
point.
it. He wants to release some of that pressure.
So Ohtani on first, more boos as Kyle Tucker comes up, the left-handed hitter in the pitch. Is hit back foul, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1. 4-seamer, splitter, occasional slider, even more occasional changeup for Kevin Gausman. At times in his past, he's featured a sinker as well. Doesn't really throw that at this point. It is 0-1 to Tucker. Check swing, and the pitch was deemed low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tucker yesterday ended up with a hit, 2 walks, a sac fly, a stolen base, 3 runs scored. The 1-1. Called strike, 1-2.
Fooled him with that fastball. It's almost like Tucker was looking for something else, and he just blew that fastball right by him.
They've said at times when he gets that fastball to the bottom of the zone, hitters just reactively think splitter when they see something low. Sometimes they lay off a strike. Here's a 1-2. Chopper back to the mound. Gausman charges, fields at his belt buckle, and throws over to first for the out. Effectively works as a bunt as Ohtani will go up to second, but Tucker is set down and there's 1 out.
Yeah, when you're essentially a 2-pitch pitcher like Kevin Gausman is, it's really important that you locate that fastball to the bottom of the strike zone. A lot of hitters, if you're a fastball split finger specifically, they'll just tell themselves, see it up. And if you locate the fastball at the bottom of the zone, that takes that away.
Runner on second, 1 out. Will Smith to the plate. First right-handed hitter in the pitch. Is served high in the air. Right field line. Moving over there, Lucas. He'll make the grab. Ohtani tagging from second. Lucas throws through to the third base bag, but Ohtani beats the throw there. Still, a nice pitch and a nice out for the Blue Jays. Now 2 down with Ohtani on third.
Would have been fun if Barger was over in right field for that one. Wonder if Shohei actually would have tried to take third base if Barger was standing in right field.
I guess not, although Lucas has a pretty good arm on himself, but very few in all of baseball throw like Addison Barger, who, by the way, was placed on the injured list today by the Blue Jays. Tyler Fitzgerald is active. More on that later. Runner on third, 2 down. No score in the top of the first. Freddie Freeman is up. Gausman's pitch. Fouled back 0-1. Blue Jays have allowed a run in the first inning 4 games in a row. Obviously, that's not a recipe for success. Be big for them to get out of this top of the first and still a tie game. 0-1. High and outside. But if you're Gausman and Brandon Valenzuela behind the plate, you do have to be wary of a pitch in the dirt, because not only is Ohtani quick and on third base, but they're shifting Freeman toward first, which means Ohtani's walking about a third of the way down the line. Huge lead for Shohei Ohtani. The 1-1 is lifted high in the air. Medium depth left field. Moving over Jesus Sanchez. He makes the grab, and Gausman snaps the streak of first inning runs allowed after the leadoff walk to Ohtani. Ground out, fly out to make it a scoreless top of the first. Blue Jays to the bats when we come back. Springer, Varsho, Guerrero. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Yeah, we doing it big. Yeah, we doing it Yeah, we doing it big, yeah, we doing it, whoa. I make a play when I step on the plate. Hit a home run, you gon' see it in space. We getting cheese like a pizza. We from the north, that's pride, that's ether. We getting bigger and tall. We step in your house and deliver it far. We big as the sea and we big as the falls. We big as the moment when we win it all.
Get a double XL huge 3-topping pizza for $19.99. Only at Pizza Pizza.
For the last 30 years, Capital One has been there for over 4 million Canadians. 30 years of giving credit and helping people reach the milestones that matter. Because we know when you're given the chance, you can do something great. Whether it's that lease on a new car, a place with more space, or just the feeling that comes with making your daughter's birthday the best one yet. With Capital One, this is just the start. Learn more at CapitalOne.ca.
There's nothing worse than waiting in long lines around the ballpark. That's why Bet365 has 5-run early payout. When the team you're riding goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out right then and there, win or lose. No waiting required. Now you can go back for another hot dog. Bet365. Download the app and see what early payouts all about. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
It's 5-4 Blue Jays because Alejandro Kirk refuses to stop producing.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. When it's time to build, renovate, or upgrade, your local Timber Mart has the materials, the know-how, and the team to help you win every time. From the first swing to the final finish, build with confidence at Timber Mart, Canada's building center. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue, Tom Young and Andrew Adams are technical directors. Show Ali is our host and producer tonight. No score, bottom of the first. Yoshinobu Yamamoto steps back into the wind and deals home to George Springer. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Yamamoto also making his third start of the season. He's got an even 3 ERA in 12 innings pitched. 2 quality starts for him. 0-1. Hit on the ground third base line, foul just wide of the bag. The last bounce before the base appeared to be in fair territory, but then it hooked just before the base foul, 0-2.
A slider and a split finger so far. I can't remember the last time, at least on the first 2 pitches of a ball game, that a starting pitcher has not thrown at least one fastball.
That's the Yamamoto experience. It's a lot of different pitches. They're all commanded. 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Springer leading off for the Blue Jays and DHing Varsho. The center fielder hits second. Vlad Guerrero Jr. at first, batting third. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Springer set down. 1 out. Blue Jays will have Jesus Sanchez hitting fourth, playing left field. Cosmo Okamoto at third base, batting fifth, with Ernie Clement, the second baseman, hitting sixth today. Nathan Lucas in right field, batting seventh, and Andres Jimenez, the shortstop, and batting ninth catcher Brandon Valenzuela. By the way, to amend a lineup from the first inning, it's not Miguel Rojas in at short today. Instead, it's Hae-Sung Kim. Dalton Varsho, the batter, one out, and the pitch from Yamamoto is popped up high in the air. Third base side foul, just over the dugout, 0-1. It was definitely supposed to be Rojas, but a very late lineup change. Look for more on that in a second, if we can find any information on why the switch was made so late on Miguel Rojas. One out, base is empty, no score, and Yamamoto's 0-1. Tap back foul, 0-2.
Everything he throws looks exactly like the fastball. The slider, the split, even the curveball that usually has a little bit of a hump to it. It looks exactly like the fastball, and that's part of the reason why Yamamoto is so good. It's hard to pick up the pitch that he's throwing.
Already one strikeout for the righty. His long wind and the 0-2. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He throws a splitter, four-seamer, cutter, curve, sinker, and slider. He throws them all, and pretty much at any count to any part of the zone, except right down the middle. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sinker beats Varsho. 2 punch-outs and 2 batters for Yamamoto, and 2 down in the bottom of the first.
That's just a really difficult pitch to square up. It was a fastball that started off the plate inside and had all kinds of horizontal movement, ran back over the middle of the plate. Dalton Varsho unfortunately swung right through it.
2 down, bases empty. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is up. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He was looking for it all right there on an elevated cutter, 0-1. All 3 Blue Jays have swung at the first pitch so far. Nathan Lucas, and talking to him about Yamamoto before today's game, he told me Yamamoto throws a ton of strikes on the first pitch, 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2. So you might see them go after a lot of those. Because he said once you get behind, he just kind of nibbles on the corners, and there's really not much you can do with how many pitches he throws. Yamamoto has thrown 10 pitches so far in this inning, 8 strikes to 2 balls. He steps back, turns to the right, and the 0-2. Called strike 3, froze Guerrero with a slider, and Yamamoto strikes out the side. Quite a return for the World Series MVP. Punches out Springer, Varsho, and Guerrero in a scoreless bottom of the first. On to the second we go. No score in the game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Coming this spring, the all-weather drive main event presented by Subaru. Don't miss all the action as Subaru continues to be the undisputed champ of getting out there and doing all the things. Watch as it takes on spring weather like it's a no contest. From camping to hiking, nothing will get in its way. It's the event of the season, the all-weather drive event, with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive, traction control, and class-leading safety, Uncommon comes standard.
Ontario is helping you keep more of what's yours. We cut gas and fuel taxes, saving households an average of $435. We scrapped the license plate sticker fee, saving you up to $720. We introduced One Fare, saving commuters on average $1,600 each and every year. And since 2018, we've never raised taxes, keeping costs down for families, workers, and businesses across the province. Learn more at ontario.ca/keepingcostsdown. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Get spring ready with CarQuest Auto Parts. Save on premium brand name products. Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic Oil 5-liter jugs, $29.97. Die Hard Lawn and Garden Battery Gold, $59.97. CarQuest Windshield Washer Fluid, 3.78-liter jug, $3.98. Prestone Premix Coolant, 3.78-liter jug, $14.97. Hit the road with CarQuest for your auto parts needs. Visit a CarQuest Auto Parts store or carquest.ca for full flyer details at participating locations.
You know you make me wanna. Hi, this is Ernie Clement, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on Sportsnet Radio Network.
Kevin Kevin Gausman and Yoshinobu Yamamoto trade blows in the first, and we go scoreless into this second inning. That's brought to you by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Teoscar Hernandez will lead it off for the Dodgers. He homered in the first inning yesterday off Max Scherzer. Now he'll lead off in the top of the second tonight. Gausman offers home to him. And the first pitch is a heater in there, strike one. Hernandez, Pages, Muncy this inning. It's been a real nice start to the year for Teoscar, coming off a down season last year. 0-1 pitch. Check swing, called strike again, 0-2. Last year, Hernandez posted his worst single-season OPS since his rookie year, 738. He's got a high bar. That's not a bad OPS. But now all of a sudden, he's hitting 353 in his first 34 at-bats with 2 homers and 7 RBIs. He rests his bat on his right shoulder and awaits an 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kevin Gausman, like clockwork, punches out Hernandez, 1 down.
That might have been the perfect at-bat for Kevin Gausman. 2 dotted heaters, down and away, 93, then 94, and then throws that split finger in the exact same location. The same tunnel, looks exactly like the fastball out of the hand, and Teoscar Hernandez, who's pretty locked in right now, swings right over the top of it.
Speaking of locked in, here's Major League Baseball's hit leader, Andy Pages. The pitch. Swing and a missile, left field and deep. If it's fair, it's gone. But it's not fair, so it's not gone. It's a loud foul ball, 0-1.
I want to stay away from that pitch in that location again. A little spinning slider on the inner third, about belt high. Seems like that's Andy Pages' happy zone.
Yeah, that was not how you draw it up. But you get ahead. Gausman sent one out, bases empty. And the 0-1. Fastball zips in there at 95, called strike on the inside third, and it's 0-2. Pages will ask for time, adjust his royal blue batting gloves outside the box. Because the Blue Jays are wearing their royal blues today, the Dodgers go to their road grays with Dodgers across the chest. 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So they tried to elevate with that 4-seam heater. It was around the neck of Pages. Do you think they come back with a split here?
Maybe you double up.
I would double up. That's what I was about to say. I would double up.
1-2. He went with the splitter low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So we're developing a bit of a connection, but Gausman is not feeding off of it.
Well, Gausman has better stuff than both of us, so he can throw whatever he wants.
Combined. Reddy's already got a strikeout in this inning of Teoscar Hernandez. Now it's 2-2 to Andy Pages. And it's a chopper, shallow short, charging Andres Jimenez, throws on the run to first. Nice play for the out. Pages has got speed, so he had to be quick, and he did not make a mistake on the transfer and toss.
Another good fastball with good velocity, this time down in the strike zone. It's almost like it surprised Andy Pages. 96 miles an hour from Kevin Gausman, and Andres Jimenez with a fantastic play.
When he has those starts where his fastball is his best pitch, not because the splitter's off, but because the fastball's so good, he gets really dangerous. 2 outs, Max Muncy up, speaking of dangerous, and here's the pitch. Outside and low, ball 1.
The success of the split finger, it hinges on how good the fastball is. So if he's locating the fastball really wherever he wants to, at least so far tonight it looks like that means that split finger is that much more effective.
1-0. Foul tip into the glove of Valenzuela. Muncy stumbled swinging at his splitter on the outer third, 1-1.
And as we know, a well-located fastball, whether it's 88 or whether it's 98, best pitch in baseball. Maybe not 88, maybe 91.
Gausman will go 92 to 98 in one start. His 1-1 to Muncy. Swing and a miss. Got him out in front on a hard splitter. That one at 85 miles an hour. 1-2. Muncy this year 8 for 30. A home run and 1 RBI. Lifetime has had a lot of success against Kevin Gausman. 2 outs, bases empty. No score in the 1-2. Check swing on a third straight splitter. This one in the dirt. Make it actually 4 splitters in a row. to Max Muncy. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice little block there from Valenzuela. Sliding to his right. Keeping that ball in front of him.
2-2. Hit high in the air, back of third. Toward foul territory goes Okamoto, crosses the chalk and makes the catch in front of the retaining wall to end the inning. 1-2-3 for Kevin Gausman, who has retired 6 straight Dodgers. On to the bottom of the second we go. You're listening to a scoreless game, and it's Blue Jays baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Some moments are made to last, like George Springer's historic Game 7 ALCS dinger. Swinging a fly ball to left field. She's gone. They deserve to be sculpted, framed, immortalized as a bobblehead. What do you think, George?
That's a work of art.
Where were you when George made history? On Friday, April 10th, get your Jumpin' George Springer bobblehead giveaway. Where will you be?
From sheds and garages to tiny and dream homes, find quality materials, ready to order building plans, and expert advice to guide you every step of the way. Start your build today at timbermart.ca. Timbermart, Canada's building center.
Hey y'all, it's Kelly Clarkson with Wayfair. Ever order furniture online and wonder what if? Like, what if it doesn't hold up? That sofa was 4 days old. You should have ordered from Wayfair. With Wayfair, there's no what if. Just style you love and quality you can trust. Visit wayfair.ca.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Good news. I don't think I need orthotics. Yeah, I'm just going to stop running marathons and stuff.
But you don't run marathons. And your feet hurt all the time.
Well, then I won't run or walk or stand.
Perfect. Who needs Kintec and their expert fit custom orthotics anyways? You just have to stop using your feet.
Well, maybe I could levitate.
But can you levitate?
I'll go to Kintec.
Kintec footwear and orthotics.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Strike 3. Kevin Gausman strikes out this side.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Don't strike out on your next home improvement project. The team at your local Timbermart has a wide variety of building supplies and leading brands you need. Clear the fence for a big win on every project. Batter up Timbermart, Canada's building center. Ben Schulman and former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue on hand. Show Ali, our host and producer, Andrew Adams and Tom Young, our technical directors. Bottom of the second inning. Appreciate you tuning in. Jesus Sanchez against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Right on left, here's the pitch. Hit back foul, 0-1. By the way, today is another Text Line Tuesday here on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Give you the theme of today's Text Line Tuesday in a sec. 0-1. In off the plate. Sanchez moved his hands back out of the way, 1-1. If you want to communicate with us, text in 590-590, name and location. Yamamoto with a 1-1 pitch to Sanchez. In the dirt, 2-1. And being that it's the anniversary of the first ever Blue Jays game, you can text in a fond or maybe your favorite memory of Blue Jays baseball, as we're having the Blue Jays play on April 7th for the 50th time now. 2-1 pitch. Inside and a little bit high maybe. 3-1.
How about this patience from Jesus Sanchez? About to see his 5th pitch of the ball game. I mean, of the at-bat.
Well, both are true.
Well, yeah.
3-1 from Yamamoto. Fouled back. Unloaded on a cutter that was on the inner third. And it's a full count. More of that cutter this year for Yamamoto than last year. Fewer four-seamers, more cut fastballs. Pretty dramatic change in usage for him. His payoff pitch is lifted down the left field line. That's slicing toward the seats, foul, and will go into the stands, off the hands of a fan in a white sweatshirt, and down into the feet of a couple of the spectators out there down the third baseline. Still 3-2. Deep breath from Sanchez. And he'll see a 7th pitch now from Yamamoto. The kick, and he fires. Swing and a high drive right field. Back up, Tucker leaps. It's over his head and one hops to the fence. Sanchez rounding first, slides into second, and is in there before the throw of Tucker. Hard liner by Jesus Sanchez, and it looked like the Gold Glover Kyle Tucker didn't quite get the right read on that ball. He awkwardly went back before leaping up and watching that go over his glove for Sanchez, his first double of the year.
Well, I think Kyle Tucker might have thought that ball wasn't hit as hard as it was. It sounded like he got jammed off the bat. Maybe Kyle Tucker thought that he had a beat on it, but that ball was crushed, one hopping off that big wall out in right field. A nice swing from Sanchez.
Now Cosmo Okamoto to the plate, and the first pitch is called a strike, 0-1.
You have to take advantage of this if you're the Toronto Blue Jays. The Dodgers don't make many mistakes. I mean, their pitching staff doesn't make many mistakes, so you have to score that run from second base.
0-1. Swing and a high pop-up, shallow right center field, backing up Alex Freeland, the second baseman, makes the catch on the turf. Sanchez remains on second, one out. I know you were talking small ball before the game, but Okamoto is just not the guy that will likely lay down a bunt.
Oh no, I didn't mean bunt him over. I just meant put a good at bat together. Right. Maybe hit something the other way, hit something in a gap, and potentially score that run from second base. He's already in scoring position. There's no need to bunt him over.
Ernie Clement to the plate, one out, runner on second. Yamamoto from the stretch. And the first pitch fouled off, 0-1. Blue Jays have already made Yamamoto throw 10 pitches in the inning. He threw 11 all of the first. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a bouncer foul past the ankles of Carlos Fablis, Blue Jays third base coach. It's 0-2. Clement 12 for 41 on the year, 293 average. 3 doubles, no homers, 3 RBIs, no walks. Sanchez on second, 0-2 count. And Yamamoto's pitch. Lifted out towards shallow right center. Freeland takes off running. Tucker charging in from right. He'll slide to make the catch. Bit of a show slide there. He flips it back in, 2 down.
Nice little play from Kyle Tucker. Froze initially off the bat. And he sprinted in to make a nice sliding catch for the second out.
So the Blue Jays in danger here of stranding the leadoff double. Still Sanchez on second. Now 2 outs and Nathan Lucas to hit. Yamamoto looks in at the left-handed hitter and offers. Outside, ball 1. Coming into today, the Blue Jays had hit 132 with runners in scoring position since March 30th. Second worst in Major League Baseball over that stretch. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Tied him up with 96 on the hands, 1-1.
There is a big hole on the left side of that infield, though. Shortstop Hae-Sung Kim is playing almost up the middle, and you've seen Nathan Lucas shoot that hole quite a bit over the course of his short career.
Kim playing in between Sanchez and the bag. The 1-1. Low. Lucas lunged forward but didn't swing. 2 balls, 1 strike. One count, 2 outs, no score, bottom of the second. Yamamoto deals. And Lucas bounces a ball foul, first base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. By the way, seeing widespread reports that Miguel Rojas is not in the lineup for the Dodgers, and Hae-Sung Kim was put in there late at short because of a family matter. So hope everything is all right there. But Rojas, it sounds like unavailable for Dave Roberts' team today. 2-2 count, 2 outs, and Sanchez on second. Yamamoto's pitch. Hit foul by Lucas, who hacks away at a cutter and sends it into the seats behind home plate.
Little backdoor cutter piece. It's pretty nasty if you can just add a pitch like that and get big leaguers out. If anybody can do it, it's Yamamoto.
This is what Lucas was describing. You just don't know what he's going to throw you in any count. Can go to any part of the plate. Sixth pitch to Lucas. And it's lifted high, foul, third base side over the dugout, and about 8 to 10 rows into the seats.
Eventually, he's going to throw you a mistake. If you see 6, 7, 8 pitches, he will throw you a mistake. So Nathan Lucas, Jesus Sanchez got his mistake. Both had good at-bats this inning.
Can land a hit in the outfield. It likely scores a run. Pitch number 7 to Nathan Lucas. High and outside, ball 3.
Typical Nathan Lucas at bat right here.
Guy who does not go down easily. Full count now. He'll see his 8th pitch. Yamamoto looks to second, kicks and deals. Called strike 3. Lucas had flipped away the bat like it was a walk, but he takes a cutter at the top of the zone to strike out looking. Leadoff double for the Blue Jays. They leave Sanchez on second base. No score in this game as we head on to the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rush Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
There's nothing better than the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Because whether you won the President's Trophy or snuck in on the final day of the season, all that matters is who gets 16 wins first. You just have to watch. The Stanley Cup playoffs begin April 18th on Sportsnet. Here for the Cup. The Blue Jays are back, Canada.
G's gone.
Stream over 150 live games and save over 30% with Sportsnet Plus annual plans.
Boy, oh boy, this is premium stuff.
Subscribe today at sportsnetplus.ca.
For the last 30 years, Capital One has been there for over 4 million Canadians. 30 years of giving credit and helping people reach the milestones that matter. Because we know when you're given the chance, you can do something great. Whether it's that lease on a new car, a place with more space, or just the feeling that comes with making your daughter's birthday the best one yet. With Capital One, this is just the start. Learn more at CapitalOne.ca.
There's nothing worse than waiting in long lines around the ballpark. That's why Bet365 has 5-run early payout. When the team you're riding goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out right then and there, win or lose. No waiting required. Now you can go back for another hot dog. Bet365. Download the app and see what early payouts all about. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Going back, Varsho slips on the warning track and makes the catch!
Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center in Alliston and Orangeville, Ontario. Protect your vehicle with Canada's #1 rust protection. Find your local Crown Rust Control family at crown.com. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Mississauga's Chris LaRue. Top of the third inning, no score, Blue Jays and Dodgers. Each of Kevin Gausman and Yoshinobu Yamamoto have allowed 1 base runner through 2 innings. Hae-Sung Kim leads it off for the Dodgers. Left-handed hitting shortstop, and the first pitch is high and outside, ball 1.
This game's gone pretty much as we anticipated, no?
Yeah, these are great pitchers. I mean, 2 of the best guys in the game. Gausman with a 1-0. And it is ripped on a line right center field. On the run, Lucas and Varsho. That splits the pair and bounces up against the wall. Came into second, looked at third, and then decided to stop at second base with a leadoff double.
The location of that fastball was actually pretty good. It was on the inner part of the plate, almost on the black. Sung Kim was ready for it. He ripped that thing on a line into the gap in right field. My goodness, you really can't hit it any harder than that if you're Kim.
And that's huge. Bottom of the order getting on for the Dodgers is a big deal. Kim, the 8-hitter. Now the 9-hitter, Alex Freeland up before Ohtani, Tucker, Will Smith, and Freddie Freeman. First pitch to Alex Freeland. He bunts it. A good one down the first baseline. Gausman fields, and his throw hits off the back of the runner. Kim takes off from third. Clement throws to the plate. Now Valenzuela throws to third as Kim dives back in. And it ends up being first and third for the Dodgers. Nobody out. A lot went on that play. To recap, bunt down the first baseline. to try and pretty much sacrifice, but it was a good one up the first baseline by Freeland. Gausman got to it in time, but his throw went off the back of the runner. Because of that, Kim, who was already at third, took off for the plate, but credit to Ernie Clement backing up the play, was able to bring in the ball, throw it to home to stop Kim, but Kim dashed back to third. Now it's runners on the corners and nobody out for Shohei Ohtani. Blue Jays infield setting up at double play depth. Looks like they'll trade 2 outs and give up a run. The pitch. Check swing pitch in the dirt. Ball 1.
It's tough to bring the infield in right now, especially with this lineup. If it was a little softer after Shohei Ohtani, I could see maybe bringing the infield in, but with the guys behind him, you have to play for 2.
First and third, nobody out, no score. The pitch is smoked on a line out to right field. Lucas back, turns at the wall. It's off the top of the fence. Kim in to score. Going first to third is Freeland. Ohtani with a wall ball long single makes it 1-0 for the Dodgers, and it's still runners on the corners, nobody out.
Well, Shohei Ohtani hit a home run yesterday on a fastball that was in off the plate. He actually hit it to the left side of center field, and that was another fastball in and down, and he just golfs that thing on a line out to right field. That is such a quick bat. He is so good at getting to those pitches in off the plate.
Now you're just trying to limit the damage here for Kevin Gausman. Already a run in this inning. First and third, nobody out. And the pitch to Kyle Tucker. Outside, ball 1. Tucker grounded out back to the mound in the first inning. He's 10 for 37 now on the year, 270 average, a double, a homer, and 7 driven in. Right on left, the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. It's tough with Tucker. He is very patient. That's almost his most elite trait, you could argue, is his plate discipline. And now in a 2-0 count, he's not likely to budge or chase something like a splitter low of the zone. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Gausman throws a splitter in the zone and gets a whiff from Tucker, 2-1.
Little bit of a hanger there. Didn't have that downward action that he normally has on the good split fingers. He got away with one there.
2-1. Swing and a miss. There he gets the chase after throwing one splitter in the zone. He throws one just below the zone, and it's 2-2.
You probably think about going four-seam fastball near the top of the strike zone. But then again, if you have a good feel for that split finger, might as well throw one of those too.
Freeland on third, Ohtani on first. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Snuck a fastball by him at 95. Tucker didn't look ready for the heat. There's one down.
They were actually thinking about going upstairs. Brandon Valenzuela set that target up near the top of the strike zone. How about Kevin Gausman? Just another dotted fastball, this time at 95 miles an hour. Might have been a hair off, but Kyle Tucker chooses not to challenge that one.
Some credit to Valenzuela on the reception there behind home plate, bringing it back into the zone. So one big out, and now the Blue Jays can dream on a double play ball. Will Smith, the catcher, is up. The pitch. Called high, ball 1. Missed with a slider there by Gausman. He hung a slider earlier in the game as well. Smith 0 for 1 tonight, 8 for 30 on the year, 2 homers. He twirls the bat high above his head, and the 1-0 is grounded toward third. Okamoto takes it on 2 hops, throws to second one. Clement to first, not in time, and a run in to score. Freeland in on the fielder's choice ground ball. Smith drives in the run to make it 2-0.
I thought for a split second that Okamoto might go home to try to get that out at home plate. I don't think the Blue Jays are going to take a look at this. Will Smith was running hard down the line, but I like the fact that he tried to turn 2 there. You don't want to potentially get into an even more difficult situation if you try to go home, force that out at home plate, don't get the out at home plate, and then runners at first and second, and still just 1 out in the inning.
And they almost pulled off the double play. Smith on first now. 2 outs. Freddie Freeman up the pitch. Called strike.
It did seem for a split second like he was thinking about going home, though. Glad that he didn't.
So it's 2-0 Dodgers in the top of the third. 0-1. Fouled back 0-2. And not unlike the Blue Jays when they're at their best, or specifically last season, if the bottom of the order guys reads, it's going to be trouble. Both guys got on, the 8-9 hitters, Kim and Freeland, and both came in to score. That was a theme last night, too. Freeland was hitting higher up, so it was Rushing and Kim last night in the 8 and 9 spots, and they were on 8 times combined. 0-2 to Freeman. And he lifts the ball out to left field. Sanchez jogging back, makes the catch, and that will do it for the top of the third. Pair of runs for the Dodgers on a pair of hits. They leave a runner on base and lead it 2-0 middle of the third inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
A great meal starts with a great egg. Whether it's breakfast with the family, lunch with friends, or a late-night bite, make it better with Conestoga Farms eggs. Proudly produced by local Ontario farmers, Conestoga Farms eggs are known for their award-winning naturally golden yolks. Conestoga Farms eggs brings quality and sophistication to every dish. Perfect for plating, posting, sharing, and impressing. Follow them on Instagram at Conestoga_eggs. Conestoga Farms, because local matters.
The Blue Jays are back, and Canada is excited to cheer on their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences at the ballpark or stepping up to the plate with those spring projects at home, Access Storage can help you make room for it all. From tools and bikes to boxes and seasonal gear, Access Storage gives you the extra space you need all season long. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit accessstorage.ca for details. Access Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's go, Blue Jays.
Luxury has a new benchmark, but this opportunity is fading fast. Time is running out this April to step into the Lincoln Aviator, Nautilus, or Navigator. Enjoy uninterrupted luxury with our complimentary services, including premium Lincoln loaners when you drop your Lincoln off for service. But you must act now. Make the switch to Lincoln before the month ends and capture up to $3,000 in exclusive savings. Once April is gone, so is this offer. Don't wait. Elevate your drive today at TorontoLincolnDealers.com.
Hola, soy Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Está escuchando a Toronto Blue Jays Baseball en la radio de Sportsnet.
Shohei Ohtani with an RBI single to the wall and an RBI fielder's choice by Will Smith, and the Dodgers have broken open the scoring in this game. 2-0 for the repeat world champions as we welcome you back to Rogers Center. The Blue Jays bat in the bottom of the third. I'm Ben Scholen alongside Chris LaRue, Andres Jimenez, Brandon Valenzuela, and George Springer will hit in this inning for the Blue Jays, who got a leadoff double off Yamamoto last inning but could not score. Japanese right-hander offers home. And the Venezuelan left-handed hitter Jimenez takes high and inside ball one. Yamamoto kicks and the 1-0. Called strike on the inside edge.
That cutter is going to be a good pitch for him when he falls behind, just like he did right there. He falls behind 1-0, and he throws that cut fastball right down the middle.
1-1 pitch. Called strike. Jimenez bent his knees. He's shaking his head a little bit, but decides not to challenge there on that four-seamer. 1-2.
If you don't like it, you can challenge.
Yeah, that's what I'd say is enough 100 times. 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to second base. Waiting on it there, Freeland. He pops up, throws to first, and gets Jimenez one down. That means for the first time at Rogers Center, Brandon Valenzuela will hit for the Blue Jays. Pardon me, he did hit late yesterday in that 9th inning, but let's say for the first time with the crowd at Rogers Center, he will hit. 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the third. 2-0 Dodgers in the pitch. Called strike as the switch hitter takes it batting left. By the way, this inning we will go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard already a final and some other games going on in the AL East. 0-1. Called strike on a backdoor breaking ball. 76-mile-an-hour curve. Moved so much you could see Valenzuela kind of give up on it, and then it still got back in the zone. So it's 0-2 in the right-on-left pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Splitter dove away from the bat of the lefty hitter, 2 down. 5 Ks, first time through the order for Yamamoto. Let's go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Baltimore Orioles visiting the Chicago White Sox today, and the Orioles beat the White Sox 4-2. Although Chicago struck first in that game, Orioles scored 4 straight to win it. First pitch to Springer, serve foul, 0-1. So the Orioles winners 4-2 over the White Sox. At the Trough, first series back at the Trough, by the way, going on between the Cubs and Rays. Cubs leading 4-0 in the 5th inning over the Rays. 0-1. Springer pops it up. Foul, first base side. Will Smith charging toward his own dugout, and he stops it. He and Freeman stare at each other as it drops in between them. That will go to 0-2. They say no error. However, if anyone had touched that would have been an error, no doubt, because that's a ball you got to catch.
Yeah, that needs to be caught. Whether it's Will Smith, it's probably an easier play for Will Smith. He's camped underneath it. Freddie Freeman is sprinting towards that short wall in foul territory. He just thought that Freddie Freeman was gonna catch it. Simple as that.
0-2 to Springer. Check swing, tapper, foul. Springer was actually not going after that ball, but it ran up and in near the handle of his bat. So 4-0 Cubs over the Rays on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, and scoreless in Boston. Brewers and Red Sox in the 5th inning at Fenway Park. 4th pitch to Springer. And it's bounced over the mound, tips off the glove of Yamamoto, but doesn't change its course. It goes right to Freeland, who throws on to first on a 1-4-3 putout. That ends a 1-2-3, bottom of the 3rd. On to the 4th we go, 2-0 Dodgers. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or the gambling of someone close to you, please go to connectsontario.ca. T&C supply.
At Loblaws, get PC Extra Large Seedless Grapes for $1.99 a pound. Offer ends April 8th. Get delivery with your first year of PC Express Pass, just $2.50 a month. Conditions apply. See flyer for details. Loblaws.
It's Charles Barkley with Wayfair. It's outdoor season, and my patio setup better be ready to play. That's where Wayfair wins. Patio seating, umbrellas, and grills, all delivered fast and easy. Shop wayfair.ca now.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
A northbound moment by Side Launch Brewing. Everything up here just makes sense.
Yeah, even the loons make sense. Hear that?
Sounds like pass me a northbound lager.
Northbound lager.
Loons, they really get me.
Sure they do.
You can escape to the north with Side Launch Northbound Lager. Crisp and refreshing, proudly crafted in Ontario. Found at LCBO and beer stores.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
It's Blue Jays 5, Mariners nothing in the 3rd.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Dodgers 2, Blue Jays nothing as we roll on to the 4th inning, which is brought to you by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app for the latest odds. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. We will get to some of your texts today on this text line Tuesday coming up this inning. But first, it's the former Blue Jay Teoscar Hernandez stepping in against his old teammate Kevin Gausman to lead off this inning. Gausman surrendered a pair of runs on a pair of hits in the 3rd. He looks to bounce back in this 4th against Hernandez, Pages, Muncy. The pitch, low ball 1. Well, Chris, I'll start with you on this anniversary of the first ever Blue Jays game. I got to ask you, though, I'll wait till after the pitch, what your favorite Blue Jays memory is. 1-0. Called strike or memories if you want to provide more than one.
Well, I said it when it happened, and I'm sticking by that. George Springer's home run in Game 7 against the Seattle Mariners.
Not a bad one, no doubt. 1-1. Down and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
And if you disagree with me, oh well. That's my response.
Andrew in Hamilton agrees with you. He said the George Springer home run. 2-1 pitch. Chopped toward third base, charging Okamoto. Gloves let her high, throws on the run to first, slinging it from his side to get Hernandez. And there's 1 out. What's yours? I mean, there's definitely, for me, especially given our proximity to it at the time, I would probably go with that moment. But to provide some other ones, when they went back-to-back to lead off Game 5 of the World Series, that was one of the crazier sequences that I've ever seen. Pitch to Andy Pages is outside ball 1. But you know what I'll say? Because different vantage point at the time, I was fortunate enough to be at the game for the Bautista bat flip and was there with my late grandfather who really got the whole family into baseball. So that was probably right there with the Springer homer. 1-0 to Pages, grounded foul, 1-1. I got a good one for you. Ray in Huntsville, his favorite memory, taking the TTC to the 77 opener after he had to go to Cleveland or Detroit to watch Major League Baseball.
That is not a bad one.
1-1 pitch. Check swing on a pitch high. A point from the home plate up. Dan Merzel right at the left shoulder of Andy Pages to say he went around. 1-2. Renee, I believe it's Renee from Milton. Apologies if it's not. Favorite memory was watching Trey Savage sit down double-digit Yankees in last year's ALDS. That was a good one.
Yep.
Gosman's 1-2 pitch to Andy Pages. Grounder foul off of Pages' ankle. It bounces over the catcher Valenzuela, and then with weird spin, kicks back in the direction of Pages and rolls onto the back warning track. One-two to Gosman, or to Pages rather, fouled back, still 1-2. Thank you for those who texted in to 59590. Martin in Shelburne, Ontario, talking about Anne Murray singing "O Canada" at the first game. 1-2 again. Grounder foul, still a ball and 2 strikes. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 more in before Pages here. It's a good one. Jonathan from Toronto, the back-to-back one-hitters for Dave Steve, and then eventually he gets the no-hitter. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Andy Pages. 2 outs in the inning as Gosman racks up his 3rd strikeout of the night.
You know what was crazy? And I know that this is probably on nobody's list, but how about that run that Bowden Francis had? That was wild.
It was, and it deserves a lot of credit. It's definitely not. I know, you know.
I mean, that guy was incredible.
He was incredible. It was fantastic. Hopefully he's back and healthy at some point soon. 2 outs, Max Muncy to the plate in the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Well, thank you to everyone who texted in on this text line Tuesday with your memories. Shout out to Dexter Spencer as well, big Jays fan who texted in. Hope you're doing well. Texting in from Portland, Newfoundland, and Labrador. Blue Jays trail 2-0 right now to the Dodgers, and the 1-0 pitch misses low to Muncy. 2 balls and no strikes. On this April 7th, some Blue Jays fans getting a commemorative actual physical ticket, Chris. So you don't really see these days anymore. 2-0. Hit on the ground to first, speared by Guerrero. He'll wave off Gosman, go to the bag, and end the top of the 4th. Also, a 77-cent hot dog night. We'll see if the hot dog eating fans can inspire the Blue Jays to their first run of the day, trailing 2-0 middle of the fourth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The road to October is underway, and you can celebrate strikeouts, wins, or walk-offs, and everything in between this season with a Miller Lite. When the moment calls for it, why not gather around your home base with a great-tasting Pilsner? 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 ml can serving. Miller Lite, official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada. It's Miller time. Must be legal drinking age. Celebrate responsibly.
Why switch to a Leva Sleep adjustable bed? Because it's a better bed. Better than your flat bed. Better than your my back hurts bed. Better than your squeaky springs bed. Definitely better than the guest room. A Leva Sleep adjustable bed is better because the zero gravity setting gives you the leverage and stamina to keep things interesting. Better your love life when you better your bed. With a Leva Sleep adjustable bed, visit one of our 6 Leva Sleep showrooms or levasleep.com.
Protect your waste and recycling equipment from costly repairs. With a custom maintenance plan, optimize your waste system performance and longevity with Metro Compactor Service. They've got you covered coast to coast with the largest service fleet in Canada. Their innovative iSmart technology can remotely diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor equipment health in real time. For on-demand or proactive service, sales, rentals, and extended warranties for all your waste equipment, visit metrocompactor.com. metrocompactor.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Larger to the plate, RBI double Miles Strawn. It's 5-2 Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Every winning team starts at home and every great build starts with local support. Timbermart stores are family owned and operated, stepping up to help their communities knock projects out of the park. Timbermart, locally owned, proudly Canadian. Tom Young and Andrew Adams, our technical directors tonight. Show Ali, our host and producer. I'm Ben Schulman, alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. 2-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the fourth starts with a pitch to Dalton Varsho. On the ground to second base, shuffling right. Freeland picks it up. He'll throw on to first, and Varsho goes to 0 for 2. Guerrero and Jesus Sanchez to follow as the Blue Jays try and solve Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
He's been good. There's no denying that. Kevin Gausman has been good, not great like Yamamoto, and that's the reason the Blue Jays are behind 2-0 in this ballgame.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. sees him for a second time tonight. The pitch, outside ball 1. I mean, this guy is trouble. He is the reigning World Series MVP. First pitcher ever to win 3 road games in a single World Series. 2, 6, and 7. 1-0. Called strike. That was a complete game in Game 2 of the World Series. He just narrowly outdueled Kevin Gausman in Game 6 of the World Series to keep the Dodgers' hopes alive, and then finished off Game 7. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Gets flat out in front of that loopy 75-mile-an-hour curve. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He threw 17 2/3 innings in the World Series last year and walked 2.
And just throwing 17 2/3 in a single World Series is crazy. And I'm sure he punched out a lot of guys as well. Don't have the exact number in front of me.
15.
There you go. 1-2 to Guerrero. Line shot foul. Hits off the netting over top of the Dodger dugout. Still 1-2.
While you were talking, I was looking it up on my computer. That's why.
And so he pitched in those 3 games. He also got hot in Game 3 of the World Series, the 18-inning game, but never ended up coming in. 1-2. Guerrero hits a chopper softly towards short, charging Kim. Gloves low, throws, and he got Vladdy. Beat him by a half step, 2 down.
He's a pretty solid player over there. We saw the short, compact swing earlier when he hit that double into the gap in right field, and makes a nice play there, charging that ball and getting Vladimir Guerrero Jr. by a half a step at first base.
Second year in the big leagues for Hae-Sung Kim, 27-year-old from South Korea. Dodgers got him on a relatively modest deal. 3 years, $12.5 million they signed him to in January of 2025. 2 outs, the pitch to Jesus Sanchez is called a strike 0-1.
The way he's playing today, that seems like nothing.
And they actually, it's interesting, they sent him down to begin the year. He lost the second base competition to Alex Freeland as Sanchez asks for time. But after it wrapped up, they had kind of, if you read through the lines, made it seem like they sent Kim down because there was just more playing time for Kim at AAA. They didn't want him to sit on the bench a lot with the big league club. 0-1 in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, Mookie Betts is on the injured list, oblique strain, and all of a sudden there's opportunity for Kim, and he might end up making all 3 starts in this series.
I mean, that's literally what we were talking about last night with Dalton Rushing. You can't have him on the bench.
1-1. Inside, 2-1.
He has to be playing. He has to be in the lineup. He has to be doing something, and obviously not a guy that should be in AAA, but a couple of pretty good players right there in Kim and Rushing.
2-1 pitch. Sanchez hits it foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs and the bases empty. 2-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 4th. Sanchez has the only hit today for the Blue Jays. Only base runner so far, his leadoff double in the 2nd. Now he's trying to extend this 4th inning. Yamamoto steps back, twists, and the 2-2. Outside, ball 3, real close. Sanchez, ever confident, dropped his hands down like he was taking it all the way. Full count.
Yamamoto's really comfortable throwing that cutter. That was a cutter, little backdoor cutter at about 93 miles an hour just off the plate.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on a curveball for Yamamoto's 6th K so far. 4 scoreless from the right-hander for the Dodgers. On to the 5th we go. Still 2-0 Los Angeles. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
A northbound moment by Side Launch Brewing. Everything up here just makes sense.
Yeah, even the loons make sense. Hear that?
Sounds like pass me a northbound lager.
Northbound lager.
Loons, they really get me.
Sure they do.
You can escape to the north with Side Launch Northbound Lager. Crisp and refreshing, proudly crafted in Ontario. Found at LCBO and beer stores.
The Blue Jays are back, and Canada is excited to cheer on their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences at the ballpark or stepping up to the plate with those spring projects at home, Access Storage can help you make room for it all. From tools and bikes to boxes and seasonal gear, Access Storage gives you the extra space you need all season long. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit accessstorage.ca for details. Access Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's go, Blue Jays.
There's nothing better than the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Because whether you won the President's Trophy or snuck in on the final day of the season, all that matters is who gets 16 wins first. You just have to watch. The Stanley Cup playoffs begin April 18th on Sportsnet. Here for the Cup. The Blue Jays are back, Canada.
G's gone.
Stream over 150 live games and save over 30% with Sportsnet Plus annual plans.
Boy, oh boy, this is premium stuff.
Subscribe today at sportsnetplus.ca. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
The first pitch to Barger is tanked out to right field and way out of here.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Back at Rogers Center for this 2025 World Series rematch. The Blue Jays and the Dodgers in Game 2 of this series. And it's the Dodgers leading 2-0 as we start the 5th. 5th inning action is brought to you by Miller Lite. You can celebrate a strikeout, hit, or catch with great taste and 90 calories per 355 milliliter can serving. Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada, must be drinking age. Celebrate responsibly. Hae-Sung Kim leads off for the Dodgers. We were talking about him at the end of the 4th. The left-handed hitting shortstop from Korea. The pitch just off the plate outside, ball 1. In his brief Major League season, he's 3 for 5 with a double and a walk and 2 runs scored. Third baseman Okamoto plays in. Everyone else back. The 1-0. High and outside, 2-0.
Pretty solid year last year, too. Smaller sample, 161 ABs, but 280, 3 homers, 17 RBIs. Also swiped 13 bags. He's a player.
2-0 pitch. Low 3-0. Not a lot of power, not a ton of walks. So although he hits for a high average, his on base actually isn't incredibly high, but Considering it was his first big league season, still very successful. 3-0 pitch, called strike. Kim had turned to take a walk, and now he'll ask a question to Dan Merzel. It's 3-1. 8 and 9 hitters got on against Gausman in the second. Both came in to score. You really got to try to avoid that here in the fifth. 3-1. Outside ball 4, and there is Kim aboard with a leadoff walk.
Yeah, we talked about this a lot last night, but 1 through 6 is an absolute gauntlet. Really, really tough to navigate through. And then 7 through 9, still a difficult pocket of the lineup, but it's definitely a softer part of the lineup. You can't walk a guy on 5 pitches or 4 pitches. You can't let the leadoff guy on base just like Kevin Gausman did. Now you got to get down to business and get potentially a double play here.
Freeland bunted last time. We'll see if he does that again. The first pitch to the switch hitter batting left, and Kevin Gausman has been assessed a balk. So that further complicates things as Kim is going to go to second. And John Schneider is out of the Blue Jay dugout. He's having some words right now with Dan Merzel, arms out, walking toward the home plate umpire as Guerrero goes over to the mound to talk to Gausman.
I have to be honest, I didn't see anything obvious, at least, and Kevin Gausman doesn't think he balked either.
Gausman just pointed around to all the other umps like, that guy said nothing, that guy said nothing, and that guy said nothing.
That's not a balk. And John Schneider, yeah.
Schneider's been ejected. He slams the cap down now and gets right in the face of Dan Merzel, pointing fingers at him, pointing at the other umpires. He is fed up with what was a suspect balk call by Dan Merzel.
As soon as John Schneider popped out of that dugout, I thought to myself, this is a good time for him to get tossed. Potentially fire up the team. He's getting his money's worth right now.
First ejection of the year for John Schneider. Turns away and gives a couple extra words to Merzel. Dan Merzel pointing and giving it back now to John Schneider as slowly Dan Bellino, the crew chief, starts to walk forward. DeMarlo Hale came out of the dugout, and you can hear how this crowd feels about the passion just displayed by John Schneider. DeMarlo Hale will take over managing the Blue Jays now as Schneider has to spend the rest of the game in his office.
Yeah, somebody in that dugout had to do something, and it was John Schneider. I love that. If I'm in that dugout, if I'm on that field, that fires me up.
Blue Jays are still in a bit of a pickle, though, here in the top of the fifth right now. Runner on second, nobody out. In this exact situation in the second, Freeland tried to lay down a bunt. The pitch did not count, so there's no count. And here is the first pitch to Freeland. And it's called low, ball 1.
Kevin Gausman's still upset about that call. You can see him talking to himself out on that mound. Probably still thinking about that balk call.
Gausman looks to second. And the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a liner down in right field, a base hit. Kim takes off around third base. It's fumbled by Lucas in right. Kim in to score, and the Dodgers are up 3-0 on the Freeland RBI single set up by the walk and balk.
I think Kim would have scored anyways, even if Nathan Lucas didn't bobble that baseball. He was running hard around third base as Nathan Lucas was fielding that ground ball, but that is a huge break for the Dodgers, and now that balk is really, really important in this ball game. We're seeing a replay right now. It's not a balk. That's how Kevin Gausman pitches, and I'm sure John Schneider feels the same way.
Gausman looking to settle in now. Runner on first, no outs. His pitch to Shohei Ohtani is called to strike. Snap throw to first, and Vladdy dives to keep it from getting into right field. Valenzuela pulled that ball toward the second base side of first base, but Guerrero kept it right there with a nice sprawling catch. And now I think Brandon Valenzuela is a little bit shaken up. So is potentially Shohei Ohtani as they came together a little bit on that throw as Valenzuela tried to throw past Ohtani. I'll admit, I was looking at where the ball went and didn't see it, but you can see both Ohtani and Valenzuela shaking out their hands. We're getting a replay look right now. The hand of Valenzuela skimmed or hit the tricep of Ohtani, who took a step back into the path of the catcher. He's entitled to the batter's box, but I don't know if he can go around pretending like he didn't do that on purpose. 3 doctors are out there to check if Ohtani's got a scratch. He's going to step back in the box.
I mean,
how does he get hurt on that play?
It definitely doesn't look like whatever happened was that painful. And you're right. There were 3 different people, although one of them is the interpreter.
Right. You're right.
But you definitely don't need 2 doctors out there.
Well, he's got his own rule created by Major League Baseball. Why not give him extra doctors and extra time to pitch in Game 7 of the World Series? Here's the 0-1 now to Shohei Ohtani, and he hits it back foul 0-2. You know what? I need a breath. Let's go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Chicago Cubs now lead the Tampa Bay Rays 5-0. That game in the 6th in St. Petersburg. No score in the 6th in Boston, Brewers and Red Sox. Gausman ahead of Ohtani 0-2. And the pitch. Fouled off. Still no balls and 2 strikes. That clanks into the backstop. Elsewhere on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the New York Yankees are hosting the No City Athletics. Ahmed Rosario hit his first home run of the season for the Yankees to start the scoring, but the A's responded with 3 runs of their own. They're up 3-1. That game in the 4th in the Bronx. Another 2-strike pitch to Shohei Ohtani. And this one is lofted out to deep right field. Lucas going back, stopping up in front of the warning track. He'll make the catch and return that one to the infield quickly. Ohtani retired for the first time tonight. Back to first goes Freeland, 1 down.
Well, you're holding your breath right there with that majestic fly ball out to right field. Ohtani got that split finger down in the strike zone and hit it just off the end of the bat.
Nothing Dodgers. All of our out-of-town scores, by the way, are brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 1 out in this inning. It's top of the 5th. And with Freeland on first, the pitch to Kyle Tucker. Called low, ball 1. Tucker 0 for 2 in this game. Strikeout and a comebacker. 1-year Cub and longtime Houston Astro. Hits with his hands high above his head. 1-0. Lifts the ball high in the air, foul, third base side, out of play. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Tucker didn't have his best year last year to platform into free agency, although he dealt with multiple injuries, including a jammed thumb late in the year. Evidently did not hurt his free agency as he netted the 4-year, $240 million deal. Step off throw to first and a dive back in by Freeland. First check on him. He's an interesting case. He's a guy who's really good at a lot of things. Maybe doesn't jump off the page at one thing in particular. 1-1. Check swing pitch low. Point down to third by Valenzuela. And actually, the home plate ump, Dan Burzell, says that he went around himself. So it's 1-2.
He's also a guy that's stolen 25 bags 3 separate times. So there's that as well. A really good athlete.
He's never hit 300. He's never hit more than 30 home runs in a season. 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. And I'm not saying he hasn't earned it. He has. But he's just a really good hitter for average, a very good hitter for power, a very good defender, a good athlete in terms of running. There's not one thing he's the best at in baseball. 2-2. Foul tip, strike 3. Gausman punches him out for the second time tonight. Tucker goes down on a fastball, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
And I guess as a GM, you have to ask yourself, does that translate into $60 million a year?
Well, I don't think anything translates.
Or whatever the number is.
I think when you're signing guys to that kind of money, you're okay that the WAR per dollar or the return isn't going to be. Yeah. But I get what you mean. 2 outs, Will Smith to the plate in the pitch. Hit off the handle, foul right side, 0-1. You do have to decide, is all of that together going to be one of the best teams on the Los Angeles Dodgers, or one of the best players on the Los Angeles Dodgers?
I think there's 2 players on the planet that are worth $60 million. Shohei and Aaron Judge, but that's it. You might disagree with me, but I think those 2 guys are well worth the paycheck.
0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. And neither of them get that.
No, I know.
I know Shohei does technically, but with the deferred money, it's really more like 46 a year for Ohtani. With Tucker's deferred money, he's making about 57 a year. Judge, far less than that. Juan Soto would be another comparable in terms of how much money is made. 1-1 pitch. Down and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. Will Smith with a fielder's choice ground out for an RBI in the third and a fly out to right in the first. He's 0 for 2, but part of the Dodgers' 3-0 lead. Gausman's 2-1. Called strike with a heater. Landed it at 96 on the inner third to make it 2-2. "74 pitches into the start for Kevin Gausman. There is some action in the Blue Jay bullpen right now. 2-2. Lifted out to left field and deep. Sanchez tracking back, looks for the wall, reaches the warning track, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. Dodgers do get a run on 1 hit after the controversial Bach moves Hae-Sung Kim to second. Freeland singles him in. 1 left on base for LA. 3-0 Dodgers, middle of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Meet iPhone 17e. A whole lot for a lot less. With an almighty, all-powerful A19 chip. And Ceramic Shield 2, built to survive this. And this. And a 48-megapixel fusion camera with 2 times optical quality zoom. And double the starting storage of iPhone 16e. And long-lasting battery life for hours of watching the studio.
That's the dream!
And it comes with Apple Intelligence. And you can charge it with USB-C. Or with MagSafe accessories. And a whole lot more. All for a lot less. Get the new iPhone 17e at Rogers today. Battery life varies by use. Pricing compared to iPhone 17.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the main event. In this corner, the reigning champ of driving through the rain, the undisputed king of all-wheel driving in the mud, the titan of traction so you can enjoy the outdoors in any weather, Subaru! And the opponent with absolutely no chance, spring weather. This no contest is brought to you by your local Subaru dealer. It's the all-weather drive event with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive traction control and class-leading safety, uncommon comes standard.
The best hitters don't chase every pitch. They wait for their moment. Know when to take a walk. Head to betway.ca and bet your way. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Concerned about your gambling? Visit connectsontario.ca.
Now batting Pizzaville with 8 chicken wings or boneless chicken poppers for only $6. And on deck, 12 wings or poppers for $10. Limited time only. Conditions apply. Fans, step up to pizzaville.ca or from your cell at pound 3636.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Barrios retires 7 in a row
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Bases loaded, team ready. Timbermart stores are family owned and committed to helping their neighborhoods swing for the fences on every project. Timbermart, locally owned, proudly Canadian. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer tonight. Tom Young and Andrew Adams are technical directors. Blue Jays trail at 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kazuma Okamoto will lead off against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It's a right-on-right matchup. Yamamoto steps back, kicks and deals. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Yamamoto's almost in his delivery, got a way to beat the system in terms of the pitch clock. He steps back with 7 seconds remaining, waits, and now the 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. His motion almost has a full stop in it, so he can kind of just step back and then give himself a second to breathe. 2-0 pitch, outside ball 3. And the reason he can do that is the clock resets, or you have to get going before the clock gets to 0, but you don't have to deliver your pitch before it gets to 0. You just got to get into your motion. It's missed 3 times to Okamoto, though, and here's the 3-0 pitch. Swing and a missile. Left center field and deep. Going back, Hernandez curls in front of the track to make the catch. It was just off the end of the bat for Okamoto. 1 out.
Yeah, the crowd thought he got that right on the barrel. Unfortunately, off the end of the bat a little bit. It was a 4-seam fastball away. Not a bad pitch, not a bad swing from Okamoto.
I think you understand the 3-0 green light right now. The Blue Jays got to get something going. 1 hit, 1 base runner for the Blue Jays. 4 1/3 innings for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. His first pitch to Clement is that slower curve at 74 for a strike 0-1. Three-time Sawamura Award winner, the Cy Young equivalent in Japan's NPB. 0-1. Chopper hit toward third base. Muncy fields it fair. It fields it deep. The bounce throw over to first is in time. Clement puts a hand up, though. He's not so sure. But they call it an out on the field. It would be a very nice play from Max Muncy, who was close to the outfield turf. DeMarlo Hale holding a palm up right now, and he will twirl his finger around saying, let's keep this game going. We're not going to challenge. 2 down. Muncy not really thought of necessarily as a defense-first player, but that was a good one.
Yeah, I think initially I thought that he could potentially be safe at first base, but looking at the replay, it's pretty obvious that he's out.
2 down, and the pitch to Nathan Lucas is outside, ball 1. 3-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 5th inning. Yamamoto on 61 pitches, 44 of them strikes. 1-0. Swing and a high fly ball, left center field, moving back Pages, but he has time to get under it and make the catch backhanded to end the inning. 2 flyouts and a ground out for the Blue Jays. Put together some good swings, but were retired in order by Yoshinobu Yamamoto. On to the 6th we go. 3-0 Dodgers. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hammering out the details on your next build? At Home Hardware, we've got Milwaukee's entire M12 and M18 lineup. With all the drills, packouts to stay organized, and everything you need to work on your dream project. But the time off work. Find everything you need for your next project and earn and redeem Scene Plus points at over 1,000 Home Hardware and Building Center locations. All locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Hey, Ray Ferraro here. If pain is stopping you from moving, footwear and orthotics are really the simplest way to get you back on track. And Kintec does it better than anybody else. I've no question that Kintec has helped me stay active, taking away any barrier to movement that I might have. It's made such a positive impact in my life, I've brought my whole family to Kintec. Book your assessment today at kintec.net.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 6th inning is brought to you by Miller Lite. When the moment calls for it, why not celebrate a win with the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada? Must be legal drinking age. Celebrate responsibly. 3-0 the Dodgers lead. We welcome you back to Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Freddie Freeman is the hitter right now for LA to lead off this inning. Kevin Gausman faces Freeman, Hernandez, Pages, who are combined 0 for 6 so far against the Blue Jays right-hander. Stretch of his right arm behind him. He bounces his lead left foot. Gausman comes still in the pitch. Called strike. It's a rare quiet day so far for Freddie Freeman in Toronto. Back on what you could call home soil, he's been very good in his career. 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. 367 average in 15 regular season games here at Rogers Center, with 7 home runs in those 15 games coming into tonight. Future Hall of Famer faces a 1-1. And it's ripped up the middle on the ground, a base hit into right center field. The active hit leader in Major League Baseball adds to his total, his 2,443rd career Major League hit. He's on to start the inning.
It's tough to keep him off the bases, even when you make a good pitch. That was a split finger below the strike zone. But Freddie Freeman, like you were just talking about, one of the best, a future Hall of Famer.
Freeman leads off first. Teoscar Hernandez to the plate. Blue Jays do have action in their pen as Gausman kicks and fires. First pitch fouled back 0-1.
Dad's from Windsor, mom was from Peterborough? Or is it the other way around?
Dad is from Windsor, mom is from Peterborough. Frederick and Rosemary. 0-1. Hernandez swings and misses at a good splitter, 0-2.
I played with him in 2017 at the World Baseball Classic, and that was the first time that he had put on a Canadian uniform. And he was really, really excited about it. It's the guy that was born in California.
0-2. Down and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, he told a great story a couple years back about he's at a game when he's 8 years old. Bob Nightingale reported this of USA Today. It's an Angels-Blue Jays game growing up in California. 1-2 to Hernandez. Bouncer foul off his lead left foot. Still 1-2. And, you know, Freddie's 8 years old, and he's used to going to baseball games, and there's one anthem. And so when the Canadian anthem starts going, he's not paying attention. He's just sitting there eating popcorn, and his mom grabs him by the shirt and rips him up out of the seat to stand for the Canadian anthem as well. 1-2 to Teoscar. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gausman on his 83rd pitch of the start reaches back for 96, and there's 1 out.
It's good to see the velo still out of that right arm from Kevin Gausman. He's been pretty good, although he's given up 3 runs. I mean, he's made his pitches. Yes, he's given up a couple of base hits, but he's really, really made some good pitches in this outing.
Andy Paez to hit Freeman on first, 1 out. The pitch is smoked on a line through the left side, a base hit into left field. Took a hop deep on the dirt before it got onto the turf, but for Paez, that's his league-leading 19th hit. And up to second goes Freeman. As Kevin Gausman gets a new baseball, DeMarlo Hale is walking out toward the hill. And this looks like the end of Gausman's day. A point toward the bullpen. Left-handed hitting Max Muncy is coming up. The Blue Jays had Mason Fluharty warming, so they will make a pitching change. Brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. A lot of appreciation in the building for the night of Kevin Gausman, who battled against one of, if not the toughest lineups in baseball. He leaves with 2 runners on, 1 out, and the Blue Jays trailing 3-0 in the top of the 6th inning. Let's send it back now to Baseball Control. Here's today's host, Show Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. A number of games going on across Major League Baseball. We'll check in across the American League East. First, top of the 5th inning in New York. The A's currently leading 3-1 over the Yankees. Tyler Soderstrom and Nick Kurtz both with doubles to get the scoring going for the A's in that game. The Red Sox at Fenway leading the Brewers 3-0. Trevor Story with a double in that one. That game's on the top of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th at the Trop, the Cubs running away with this one 6-0 for the Cubs right now. Again, bottom 7 down in Tampa. Some games already in the books for us to get to as well. The Orioles beating the White Sox 4-2 earlier. Gunnar Henderson smashing a tie-breaking 2-run bomb in the 8th. Baltimore scoring 3 runs overall in the 8th to win the game. Henderson with 2 hits alongside Tyler O'Neill and Blaze Alexander, which is just a great name, who also had 2 hits each. Orioles now 5-6 on the season following the win. In the NBA, Raptors back in action after a tough loss to the Celtics on Sunday. They are 43-35 on the season with 4 games to go, holding on to that 7 seed. Tonight, they're taking on the Miami Heat. It is 59-47 with 2.5 minutes to go remaining in the first half. And don't forget, post-game coverage for all Raptors games can be always found on the Raptors Show podcast feed. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. The Blue Jays have brought in low slot left-hander Mason Fluharty for his 6th outing of the season. Numbers are partially skewed by an outing where he came in, got hit by a pair of comebackers, and then had to exit the game, and both of his inherited runs scored. He's technically given up 3 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings, but he's been better than those numbers would suggest. However, he comes into a very tough spot, Chris. It's Max Muncy coming up to the plate, the powerful left-handed hitter. 2 on for the Dodgers and only 1 out.
Yeah, but he's very comfortable coming into spots like this. We've seen him in those higher leverage situations. He's kind of the guy out of that bullpen for John Schneider right now. He'll probably pound the strike zone and then elevate that cutter.
Left-hander out of Liberty, sets at the belt, looks to second at the lead runner Freeman, and the pitch to Muncy. Check swing, and the pitch is called high. Missed with a sweeper, 1-0. Cutter, sweeper, and a power changeup for Mason Fluharty. 1-0. Popped up, third base side foul into the seats. It's Freeman on second, Pages on first. Both had hits against Kevin Gausman, whose line is still open right now because both of those runners are owed to him. Fluharty with a ground ball could wipe away this inning. Top of the sixth, one out, and the 1-1 to Max Muncy. Hit on the ground up the middle. Clement gloves, shovels over to second one. Jimenez to first, not in time. Grounder was hit quite softly, and because of that, Max Muncy could lay out the fielder's choice. Freeman to third, so runners on the corners and 2 outs as Pages is cut down.
I thought for a split second that Andres Jimenez might fake the throw to first and see if Freddie Freeman got off a little bit too far from third base. Max Muncy was running hard out of the box, and like you said, it wasn't hit all that hard to begin with.
So a big pitch for Fluharty, but now the Blue Jays will ask him for one more as he faces left-handed hitting Hae-Sung Kim. First and third, 2 down, top of the sixth inning. The pitch, called strike. Backed away Kim with a sweeper that started near the left-handed hitter's shoulder and dropped into the zone. Kim's been a problem today and really all series, but today a double, a walk, 2 runs scored. 0-1. Foul back 0-2. He was knocked in the 5th inning by Alex Freeland, who then gave a quarter of his RBI to home plate umpire Dan Brazel.
Wouldn't be surprised if they throw another sweeper here. Kim just looked uncomfortable on that last one. It was right down the middle, and you see that front shoulder pulling off. Might as well throw another one outside off the plate.
2 outs, 2 on, and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Strikes him out on a sweeper, and that will do it for the top of the 6th inning. Good job by Fluharty coming in with a threat, 2 on, 1 out, and stopping the inning right there. No runs for the Dodgers, 2 hits, 2 left. Middle of the 6th, 3-0 LA. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey y'all, it's Kelly Clarkson with Wayfair, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.ca or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
At Loblaws, get PC Extra Large Seedless Grapes for $1.99 a pound. Offer ends April 8th. Get delivery with your first year of PC Express Pass, just $2.50 a month. Conditions apply. See flyer for details. Loblaws.
The Blue Jays are back, and Canada is excited to cheer on their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences at the ballpark or stepping up to the plate with those spring projects at home, Access Storage can help you make room for it all. From tools and bikes to boxes and seasonal gear, Access Storage gives you the extra space you need all season long. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit accessstorage.ca for details. Access Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays.
A northbound moment by Side Launch Brewing. Everything up here just makes sense.
Yeah, even the loons make sense. Hear that?
Sounds like pass me a northbound lager.
Northbound lager.
Loons, they really get me.
Sure they do.
You can escape to the north with Side Launch Northbound Lager. Crisp and refreshing, proudly crafted in Ontario. Found at LCBO and beer stores.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another screaming flex from Hoffman.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Will Smith throws down to second base, and the fans get loud here at Rogers Center as the Blue Jays try to get something going in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dodgers up 3-0, out hitting the Blue Jays 5-1 here in Game 2 of the series. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays have 8-9-1 due up this inning. Jimenez, Valenzuela, and Springer. Yamamoto, 62 pitches so far through 5 innings, offers home. And the first pitch is low, ball 1. This inning, we'll take a look at the standings watch presented by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. 1-0 to Andres Jimenez. Check swing, pitch missed high. And they say he went around because Jimenez fell down, spinning his bat across the plate by accident. 1-1. Well, obviously, Yamamoto was on top of the world last time he was here at Rogers Center winning World Series MVP. Andres Jimenez got to exact a little bit of revenge. He and Venezuela knocked out Japan in the quarterfinals of the World Baseball Classic in a game Yamamoto started in the quarterfinals. Venezuela took down Japan before Italy and then the U.S. 1-1 pitch called low, 2 balls, 1 strike.
That Venezuela roster was sneaky really good. Not a lot of people talked about them before the tournament, but if you look at them on paper, I mean, it's a ton of all-stars.
2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Jimenez 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out to second base in the 3rd. Hitters count for him, the 3-1. Fouled back. Cutter ran in on the hands. That might have been ball 4. Would have been a borderline pitch. Getting a look at the replay now. It's 3-2.
That's going to be a really, really important pitch for him, I think, this season and going forward. You fall behind 2-1, 3-1, 2-0. You flip that cutter in there. It looks like the fastball, and then you just get a quick out.
Payoff pitch to Jimenez. And he fights it away. Another cutter in. That one a little bit lower. You can see Andres bend the knee to get down to that pitch. And he popped it in the seats foul. Third base side still. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's almost unfair that he has such a good feel for it already. If you trust it enough to throw it behind in the count, I mean, you have a really, really good feel for that pitch.
3-2 again, and this one grounded foul. Slowed it down to 76.5 on the curve. Let's get to that standings watch presented by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Yankees are 7-2, Rays 5-5, Orioles 5-6, Blue Jays 4-6, and the Red Sox 2-8. Step back from Yamamoto, and his 8th pitch to Jimenez is hit off the fist. A little looper over the head of Freeman at first. A base hit down in shallow right. Freeman took 2 steps, swung his arms like he was going to jump, and then realized it was sailing over his head. And Andres Jimenez is the 2nd Blue Jays base runner. He is a leadoff base runner for the Blue Jays here in the 6th.
Another cutter. That's the 3rd cutter of the at-bat for Andres Jimenez. And as we all know, the more you see a pitch, the more comfortable you become with that pitch. Andres Jimenez got jammed on that pitch, but he got just enough of it to get it over Freddie Freeman. And he's standing at first base as a leadoff base runner.
Jimenez takes his lead. Brandon Valenzuela up, and Yamamoto offers from the stretch. Grounder foul, 0-1. It's a hard push and pull. Do you want to take chances on the base paths to try to create a run? Or do you want to be safe with the so few base runners you've got? I would guess down 3 now, they won't take many chances.
Yeah, if it was 2-0, yes. If it was 3-0, or since it's 3-0, I say no.
0-1. Bunt shown, pulled back by Valenzuela, and the pitch called a strike. A 92-mile-an-hour splitter, by the way, that hit the bottom inside corner. It's 0-2.
That sack bunt there tells me that Blue Jays are just going to try to chip away. Score 1 run each inning for the next few innings, and hopefully they tie the ball game.
Could get Jimenez in motion. He swiped 2 bags this year. Long set Yamamoto, and the 0-2. High and outside. .73 pitches for the Japanese righty who kicks and offers. There goes Andres Jimenez, and the pitch is bounced to first. Freeman backhands. He will go to the bag for the out, and Andres Jimenez makes sure there's no double play by being in motion. Now, a bit of a break that it bounced about 6 inches in front of Freddie Freeman, or that's a double play, but the Blue Jays do move Jimenez into scoring position, now 1 out.
Yeah, it also would have been a really tough throw, even if Andres Jimenez was closer to first base. I think that's why Freddie Freeman didn't actually throw that baseball, but like you said, Andres Gimenez was off, and he's at second base with just one out.
Pitch to George Springer outside, ball one. Will Smith liked the spot, and he pumps his mitt out toward the right-handed starter. 3-0 Los Angeles. Speedy Andres Gimenez on second. Springer today 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out up the middle. 1-0. Down and away, 2 balls, no strikes. 3-3-ball counts for Yamamoto in the last 6 batters he's faced. Just starting to fade a little bit here. 2-0. Swing and a line drive right center field. It's got tail on it, and it's down for a base hit, bouncing into the fence. Coming around third, Gimenez jogs home. Springer into second. His RBI double gets the Blue Jays on the board. It's 3-1 LA.
That's got to feel good for George Springer. That might be his best swing in the last 5 or 6 days. When you get yourself into good counts, like George Springer did there, a 2-0 count, he gets a hanging breaking ball, a mistake from Yamamoto, and he hammers that ball the other way. What a beautiful swing from him.
That brings Mark Pryor out to the mound right now to talk to Yamamoto. He's got great stuff. For Springer, by the way, his 800th career run batted in. Yamamoto's got great stuff, but the toughest thing about him is his command. If he's not commanding, and he left that pitch over the middle.
Yeah, that was about belt high.
It can be a different world if he's leaving pitches over the heart of the plate, because he so rarely does.
And just like that, the Blue Jays have chipped away.
They got one.
Yep.
And they're a base hit to the outfield away from getting another. Springer on second, 1 out. Also, Dalton Varsho searching for his first career home run, or pardon me, first of the season and 100th career. Yamamoto looks to second in the pitch home. Varsho squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes high. Ball 1. Third baseman Muncy moved in now, but if you were scouting the bunting tendencies of Varsho, you'd want to move the second baseman Freeland in. Instead, he right now is still standing on the edge of the outfield turf. 1-0 pitch. Varsho swings and misses that time at a 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer. 1-1.
I don't mind that big swing right there from Varsho. He's ahead in the count, and he's expecting and looking for something hard there, and he just missed it.
1-1 pitch. Up and in, 2 balls, 1 strike. Further on the command of Yamamoto, this is the 4th batter he's faced this inning. He's gotten to 2 balls with 3 out of the 4. His 2-1 pitch. Fouled back. Splitter near the bottom of the zone, maybe just low of the zone. Varsho does love going after the off-speed pitches, although that one was not a strike. It's 2-2.
Yeah, probably not the pitch you want to swing at, but still put a pretty good swing on it.
2-2. Low ball 3. Slider broke low of the zone that time, and Varsho stepped but didn't fire the hands. It's a full count with Springer on second, Guerrero on deck. 3-1 Dodgers, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Yamamoto's 83rd pitch of the game. Here it comes. And Varsho pops it up foul behind home plate, out of play into the seats.
Be nice to get Vlad to the plate with runners at first and second, no?
Or maybe bases empty, 3-3 tie, you know. But no, it definitely would.
I think that's a better option. Yeah, you're right.
7th pitch to Dalton Varsho. Low ball 4. It will be first and second with 1 out. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming up to the plate.
How good of an at-bat was that? Dalton Varsho not trying to do too much, not putting too much pressure on himself. He knows that Vlad's standing in that on-deck circle, and he's just willing to pass the baton, especially down by 2 runs.
Guerrero steps in. Springer on second. Varsho on first. 1 out. Yamamoto's pitch. Chopped high in the air toward third. A bouncer Muncy waits on and fields on the bag for the out. Fielder's choice, Guerrero safe at first, Varsho into second. It's now first and second with 2 down.
It's actually a really smart play from Max Muncy down there. He could have charged the baseball and fielded it, potentially tried to get Vlad at first, but instead he just waited for the ball with that right foot on the third base bag, getting George Springer for the force out.
So the baton pass to Jesus Sanchez. First and second, 2 down, 3-1 Dodgers. Alex Vesia, the lefty, up in the Dodger pen, but they don't go to him against a lefty hitter. The pitch, down and away, ball 1. Sanchez with a double and a strikeout swinging in this game. Right on left, 1-0. Fouled back into the gut of Smith, and he immediately went down onto his hands and knees and now pops up and is walking a little bit near the back of the dirt circle. I think that actually might have got him in the foot. He's kind of pressing down onto his right foot and his left foot behind home plate. Yeah, that got him on the toes of the right foot. That is no fun.
Well, good news is they have Dalton Rushing sitting in that dugout.
It's not good news for Will Smith.
Well, not good news for Will Smith, no.
Although he'll be fine. Back in the crouches, Smith, and here's the 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground right at the second baseman, Freeland, who gobbles it up, throws on to first, and ends the inning. Blue Jays get on the board, though. George Springer knocks in a run with an RBI double. A run on 2 hits, 2 left for the Blue Jays. They trail it 3-1 going to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Building isn't just about materials. It's about care, expertise, and knowing you're supported every step of the way. At your local Timber Mart, we provide trusted advice, expert guidance, and quality materials that help you create something meaningful. Because when your projects succeed, our community grows stronger coast to coast. Timber Mart, locally owned, proudly Canadian.
There is nothing better than the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Because whether you won the President's Trophy or snuck in on the final day of the season, all that matters is who gets 16 wins first. You just have to watch. The Stanley Cup playoffs begin April 18th on Sportsnet, here for the Cup.
Every great goal starts with a great assist. And on the road, that assist is Yokohama. This season, upgrade your ride with confidence. For a limited time, get an up to $125 rebate when you purchase 4 select Yokohama tires. Plus, enter the Play Hard, Drive Safe contest for your chance to win $400 in hockey gear every week. More grip, more control, more confidence for every drive. Yokohama, play hard, drive safe.
Hi, this is Tyler Heineman, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 7th inning is brought to you by Capital One. Capital One giving Canadians credit for 30 years. 3-1, the Dodgers lead the Blue Jays. On to the 7th inning we go. It's still the lefty reliever Mason Fluharty into the game for Toronto. But as he steps onto the rubber, there is action in the Blue Jay bullpen as well. I believe that's Louis Varland down there. It is Varland up and throwing for the second time tonight. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Alex Freeland, the switch hitter, turns around to bat from the right side. Corners in the pitch. Zips in there at 91.5, strike 1 for Fluharty, who's gained some velocity from his first season in the big leagues. 0-1, high and outside. Freeland, like Kim, who hits before him in this lineup, has been a problem at the bottom of the order tonight. Sacrificed himself in the 3rd, although an errant throw allowed him to reach base. He ended up scoring that inning, then an RBI single in the 5th. 1-1. High and outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Freeland was the guy who initially beat out Kim to be on the opening big league roster. 2-1. Rounded foul, 2-2. Was bench guy at the beginning, but has started far more than Miguel Rojas has when Mookie Betts was healthy this year. And now has started back-to-back games in Toronto here with Betts on the IL.
Was that a surprise to many?
It seemed like it from the coverage around the Dodgers. Freeland struggled results-wise in spring. Kim went to the WBC and hit over 400. The results are a small piece of the pie. 2-2 is lifted on a line left center field. Varsho on the run, and that gets down over his head, bounces into the fence. Freeland digging for second, stand-up double for the 9-hitter. And this is when the Dodgers get their most dangerous. The bottom of the order has set the table again.
Yeah, Kim doing well tonight. Freeland goes down and gets that good sweeper. I mean, again, it's obviously not just the bottom part of the order, but you have to get those guys out, especially when 1 through 6 in this Dodgers lineup is as powerful as they are. Unfortunately, Blue Jays pitching just hasn't really done that the last couple of ball games.
Shohei Ohtani up the pitch from Fluharty is vaulted foul left side 0-1. Fluharty set 12 pitches into his outing. He looks to second at Alex Freeland in the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ohtani with a hit and a walk and a fly out to right field. That sent Nathan Lucas back to the warning track. One pitch. Check swing pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike.
I'm wondering if you stay away from him now that you're behind in the count 2-1. You have the open base at first base. You have another lefty coming up after Shohei Ohtani.
2-1 pitch. Inside ball 3. Whether they want to or not, now Fluharty has put himself in a difficult count here. And you don't just pour one over to Shohei Ohtani, a 4-time MVP.
Yeah, they probably won't intentionally walk him. Obviously not, but I think they might pitch around him here with that open base.
The 3-1. Off the end of the bat, lifted to shallow left. Jesus Sanchez charging, makes a one-handed catch. And that's a big out, retiring Ohtani for 1, but keeping Alex Freeland at second base now with 1 out as well.
Yeah, that's a great pitch. A sweeper just off the plate, just good enough to entice him to swing, and he gets Shohei Ohtani.
It's not super easy to get Ohtani to chase. I mean, he's been chasing a bit this year, but typically is above average in that department. Kyle Tucker up to the plate. Runner on second, 1 out. 3-1 Dodgers, top of the 7th. Fluharty's pitch. Fouled back. A sweeper that spun on the inside edge. Tucker missed it, though, 0-1. Actually spun right down the middle on second look. Tucker today 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. All those at-bats came against Kevin Gausman. Fluharty sets, peeks back at Freeland, the runner. And the 0-1. Upstairs, out of the crouch comes Valenzuela to reach up and reel in that 93-mile-an-hour cutter. $18 pitches so far for Fluharty. Varland turning around, looking in between his tosses in the pen in left field. Southpaw's 1-1. Fouled back. Big rip by Tucker on a cutter. Sent it back into the screen. 1-2.
That's another good cutter from Mason Fluharty. 93 miles an hour. You mentioned it earlier. A tick up with velocity. And even with that little bit of movement, still pretty good velocity.
Fluharty's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him on a sweeper. Tucker takes the long back to the dugout. 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, and there are 2 down. Mason Fluharty comes in and gets 4 outs across 20 pitches. He has done his job tonight. DeMarlo Hale walking out to the Blue Jay mound, and Louis Varland walking down the bullpen steps. This will be a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 3-1 Dodgers, runner on second, 2 outs in the top of the 7th, and Will Smith coming up as Louis Varland gets his warm-up tosses in. We go back to today's host, Show Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. We'll go back to the scores across Major League Baseball. Those games across the American League East still in action right now. It was 6-0 Cubs-Rays, now 7-2 in favor of the Cubs. This game's in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rays do have 1 out and runners on first and third at the Trop right now, so continue checking in there. Top of the 8th inning, nobody on, 2 outs. The Red Sox were leading 3-0. It's now 3-2 for the Red Sox. Milwaukee making it a little bit closer, including David Hamilton getting hit by a pitch with the bases loaded by Garrett Crochet, who was taken out of that game in the top of the 7th. And the Yankees, bottom of the 6th, they are trailing still. That score's still the same, 3-1 in favor of the A's. Other games going on right now, no score between the Tigers and Twins. Bottom of the 5th, 1 out, runners on first and second. Bottom 4, Seattle currently leading the Texas Rangers 1-0. Down south in Texas. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action at the Rogers Center with the call on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Louis Varland into the ball game for the Blue Jays. It'll be his first outing since the 3rd of April. Varland entering with Alex Freeland on second base, a 3-1 Dodger lead and 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. On the year, Varland has pitched 4 1/3 innings across 4 appearances, 5 hits, 2 unearned runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts.
It's a big spot for him. You have to get Will Smith here with Freddie Freeman standing in that on-deck circle.
Right-hander from Minnesota with a big fastball and a big knuckle curve. His pitch to Will Smith is a fastball outside, or make that a slider, pardon me, at 92 miles an hour. Ball 1. 4-seamer, occasional sinker, curve, occasional slider, and changeup. Will Smith with a couple of curious looks back to the home plate umpire, Dan Murzel, now steps back in. 1 ball, no strike count, runner on second and 2 down. Varland's pitch. Down and away, pops out of the glove of Valenzuela, but it won't do any harm. Freeland stays at second, 2-0. Interesting that Varland goes to back-to-back sliders to begin the outing. I mean, it's a pitch he uses, but 7% of the time last year, 7% of the time to start this year. Now his next pitch is going to be called ball 3 on a 4-seamer, but Brandon Valenzuela wants to challenge.
It might be a little bit low. It's a good pitch, but it might be a little bit low.
Well, we'll get a look right now for sure. And it clipped the zone, clipped the bottom of it. So that's a good challenge by Brandon Valenzuela, and the Blue Jays are 1 for 1 on their challenge tries. They keep their 2 ABS reviews.
Yeah, and this changes the at-bat. Goes from 3-0 to 2-1 now. You can really throw whatever you want in this at-bat.
Varland twists back in the pitch. Hit foul to the right and quickly off the sinking fastball in on the hands. It's 2-2.
They were trying to come in. Valenzuela was set up almost on the black. That fastball leaked out over the middle of the plate.
Hasn't thrown his big curveball yet. With 2 outs, the 2-2 to Will Smith. And it's sliced foul into the seats right side. There was the knuckle curve for the first time. And that landed right on the outside corner. Good defensive swing from Smith on a great pitch.
Yeah, you said it. That's just a defensive swing, trying to foul it off, stay alive. A little short, compact swing from Will Smith.
4 different pitches used in 5 offerings from Varland so far. His 2-2 again is pounded away, foul to the right, sped it up to 98 with his 4-seamer.
And again, they were trying to come inside. Valenzuela was set up almost at the hands of Will Smith. But again, that fastball leaks over the middle of the plate. Will Smith putting a pretty good swing on it. And if you're coming in, you have to get it in.
2-2 again. Fouled off again. 99 on that 4-seam fastball as Varland's arm continues to heat up. That one was left over the plate, but the velocity did enough to miss the barrel.
But if you get that ball in like they're trying to, Will Smith, this at-bat is over. Will Smith is sitting in that dugout.
2-2 again. Breaking ball outside, trying to get him to chase a slider, ball 3. Only thing Farland has not shown Will Smith through 8 pitches so far is his changeup, and he hasn't thrown a right-on-right change since 2024, so that's unlikely he'll use one now. Freeland on second, the 3-2. Smith hits the ball high in the air, right field, curling back in toward the foul line. Lucas makes a two-handed squeeze to end the top of the 7th inning. Farland comes in and gets Smith, and the Blue Jays trailing 3-1. A bloop and a blast. Go back to work with the bats in the bottom of the 7th. Okamoto, Clement, Lucas coming up. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Digging into some landscaping? At Home Hardware, we've got a wide range of soil and mulch, fertilizers and composting, gardening tools, and everything you need to make your yard beautiful. But the allergy control. Find everything you need for your next project and earn and redeem Scene Plus points at over 1,000 Home Hardware and Building Center locations. All locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Barger needed a place to stay right before Game 1 of the World Series, and so I offered him my pull-out couch, and yeah.
The first ever pinch hit grand slam in World Series history.
Be at the ballpark on Saturday, April 11th to get your very own Addison Barger Couch t-shirt free for the first 15,000 fans. Thoughts, Addison?
This is grand slam worthy.
For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Where will you be for this giveaway?
They say when you're sad or a little bit down, that's the perfect time to volunteer. For me, I get so much from donating blood. It's an instant way to shift that mindset. I walk in here with a purpose, and when I've accomplished that, I walk out with my head a little bit higher. I know that I've helped somebody, but that person has also helped me.
Canadian Blood Services. Experience what you get when you give. Book an appointment at blood.ca.
Bright sunshine day.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
George Springer has given the Blue Jays the lead once again.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Dodgers 3, Blue Jays 1, Game 2 of this series. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Bottom of the 7th inning. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. And it's another inning of work for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. You would guess the last, but it's hard to know. Yamamoto had 88 pitches, but with what he did last year, who knows when he'll be out of bullets. He steps on the hill and looks in at Kazuma Okamoto. Right on right, here's the pitch. Breaking ball drops in. No, it's called a ball. 1-0. Okamoto tagged the ball pretty well in the 5th, but it was caught by Teoscar Hernandez. He's 0 for 2 tonight. 1-0. Swing and a miss. He was looking for big fly right there, and the splitter dove down and in below the bat. 1-1.
Yamamoto is now at 90 pitches. In his last start against the Cleveland Guardians, he threw 87 pitches.
Vesia up and ready in the Dodger pen. The 1-1. Called strike that time. He lands a cutter at the top of the zone, and it's 1-2.
That's the pitch right there. That's a mistake. That's a spinning cutter on the inner third.
1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and Okamoto is tapping the top of his helmet. He's asking for a challenge on a slider that appeared outside. We're way up here, but we're getting a look now. Oh, yeah, that's outside. They're going to overturn that one. And Okamoto's got an extra life here, all because of his own doing. Blue Jays are 2 for 2 on the ABS challenges, and it's now a 2-2 count. Crowd amped up after the overturn, and now a 2-2 pitch from Yamamoto. Low, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Did whoever came up with this ABS system think that the crowd was going to be that excited about it?
All I'll say is it's kind of like tennis. People get hyped up for it in tennis, so I'm not that shocked. 3-2 pitch. Lifted high in the air, foul third base side, over the dugout and out of play. That was a hung curveball right over the middle, but Okamoto just missed it.
Yeah, Yamamoto's made a couple of mistakes in this at-bat. First, the cutter that spun on the inner third, and then that 3-2 curveball right there that Okamoto just missed.
95th pitch of the night by Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And it's hit well. Right center field. Pages on the run. He pulls up. It's down on the track. Okamoto around first into second with a leadoff stand-up double. And Yamamoto tapping his chest as he looks into his catcher, Will Smith. He is indeed human, and the Blue Jays are starting to get to him a little bit here in the later stages of this game.
Wasn't a terrible pitch from Yamamoto, but Okamoto is so good at going the other way with authority. We've seen that during the course of this early season, and he just rips that ball over Andy Pages in center field. Big fist pump over there at second base. It's got to feel good for him.
First double in a Blue Jay uniform. Now Ernie Clement up the pitch. Called strike with a fastball at 95. Two-seam sinker makes it 0-1.
How about that strike three challenge now?
Seriously. If you were anti-ABS before, I imagine you aren't at this point. 0-1. Clement squares to Bunting. Bunts it toward third. It's a good one. Muncie's got no play. Up to third, Okamoto. Clement safe on first. The Blue Jays have the tying run on, and there's nobody out on a bunt hit from Ernie Clement.
What a beautiful bunt. Ernie Clement is so smart. He sees Max Muncy playing behind the third base bag. Doesn't try to do too much with that bunt. If he gets it down, he's safe at first base. It's almost like a sacrifice bunt with Max Muncy playing way back. And Ernie Clement ends up at first base with still nobody out in this inning.
And Ernie Clement ends the day of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Nathan Lucas set to hit. Alex Vesia coming in for the Dodgers in a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 3-1 Dodgers, but runners on first and third. No outs for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the seventh. We go back to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Scores from around Major League Baseball. We've been checking in on them throughout the evening. Still 7-2 for the Cubs over the Rays at the Trop. That game's in the top of the ninth inning. 1 on and 1 out. Still 3-2 for the Red Sox over the Brewers. Bottom of the eighth, 2 out. Runners on first in that game at Fenway Park. Let's see. Other games elsewhere. This game getting started not that long ago. The Houston Astros currently leading in the bottom of the second inning over the Colorado Rockies 1-0, although the Rockies just tying the game, so now 1-1 there. Still 1-0 for the Mariners over the Rangers in Texas, top of the fifth inning, 2 outs and a runner on second, and it was 0-0. Last time we checked between the Tigers and the Twins, now 4-0 for the Twins over the Tigers. The Twins getting to Tarek Skubal in the bottom of the fifth, who was pulled after a single, double, and a double from Keishel, Jeffers, and Bell. Over in the NBA as well, the Raptors currently taking on the Miami Heat. It's 84-68 with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Dave Roberts has made a pitching change for the first time tonight. Alex Vesia, the lefty reliever, is on for L.A. Dodgers 3, Blue Jays 1. Runners on the corners and nobody out. The Blue Jays have countered. DeMarlo Hale, who's acting as manager after John Schneider's ejection, has brought Davis Schneider off the bench to prevent that left-on-left matchup. The rec spec wearing, mustache sporting right-handed hitter will come in to face the bearded lefty Vesia. Fifth outing of the year for Vesia, has not allowed a run of his own yet.
How about this crowd right now?
Hyped up by this inning. The Blue Jays scored the last run in this game in the sixth. And now they have a double and a bunt single here in the seventh. It's been a tight game throughout. And after a tough week for the Blue Jays, this is looking a little bit more like Blue Jays baseball as they try to knock in a run, maybe more here in the seventh. Clement on first, Okamoto on third. No outs. Vesia, the lefty, offers. And the pitch is high, ball 1. Vesia is tricky. 29-year-old lefty, doesn't have overwhelming stuff. Four-seamer, slider, and change. But at a 65-degree release angle, he was the highest slot lefty in baseball last year. Straight over the top for the southpaw, who delivers a 1-0. And it's in there for a strike. For context, Vesia measured at 65 degrees last year. Trey Savage at 64. So it's that violent of an angle. Fly ball could bring the Blue Jays within one. Dodger infield back, 1-1. Swing and a miss. Davis Schneider saw a 92-mile-an-hour heater in the zone and tried to give the Blue Jays the lead there. It's 1-2.
That's a really uncomfortable arm angle. You were just talking about it. It's almost like that 92, 91-mile-an-hour fastball seems harder because the arm angle is so unique.
Vesia's 1-2 to Schneider. High and outside, 2-2. Vesia unable to participate in last year's World Series due to personal matters, but now back with the Dodgers this year. And he is one of Dave Roberts' most important guys. Appearance leader for the Dodgers in 2024, second in appearances in 2025. In a huge spot, he's 2-2. High ball 3. Didn't get on top of that heater. Release point a little too high, and it's a full count.
Another good at-bat for this Blue Jays team. They've had a number of good at-bats, taking tough pitches. Big pitch here coming up for Davis Schneider.
First and third, no outs, bottom of the 7th. Vesia kicks and deals. And Schneider takes down an away ball 4. The bases are loaded.
A little bit of an awkward release from Vesia there. After he threw that pitch, he stretched his side a little bit. I wonder if he's feeling tight around the oblique. That last fastball really was nowhere near the strike zone.
Pitched somewhat recently on Sunday through 17. Had not thrown for 4 days before that, though. He was also warming up for a very long time. About an inning and a half. Bases loaded, no outs. Andres Jimenez up, left-on-left matchup. Vesia offers. And the first pitch is hit foul into the seats, 0-1. Much of this crowd is on its feet. It's 3-1 Dodgers, but the Blue Jays have the base paths full. Nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Jimenez 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in the game. Infield back. Vesia with a long look in the 0-1. Hit high in the air, left field. Teoscar Hernandez moving toward foul territory. Gets under it, makes the grab. Okamoto fakes like he'll test him and goes back to third. That was the right call. It was not deep enough to bring him in. That's a big out for Vesia and the Dodgers as all 3 runners hold in their respective spots. There's 1 out.
Yeah, with nobody out, there's really no reason to test Teoscar Hernandez out there. And Hernandez really got underneath it. He got behind it. He put a good throw to Will Smith at home plate.
So 1 out, bases loaded, and here's your welcome to the big leagues. Brandon Valenzuela batting in a massive spot against the Dodgers. The former Padre prospect hits with the bases loaded, 1 out. Single could tie this game. The pitch. Check swing. Pitch was high. 1-0. Valenzuela's a switch hitter, so he's turned around now to bat right-handed against the southpaw Vesia. He was 0 for 2 as a lefty hitter earlier in this game. (1-0). Swing and a miss. Swung over top of the slider in the dirt. A ball and a strike.
And if I'm Alex Vesia, I know that Valenzuela is relatively new to the big leagues. That swing right there tells me that I'm throwing another one of those pitches. He's not prepared for those pitches. He's probably a little bit antsy with the bases loaded and 1 out. Why throw anything else?
The 1-1. Fouled back. Out in front of another off-speed pitch, and Valenzuela threw his head back after being out in front of that slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Will Smith walking out to the mound to talk with Alex Vesia. And now Muncy is going to jog in there as well.
Yeah, I wonder what they're talking about. Maybe just trying to figure out the the pitch that they want to throw next. It was a little bit of a hanging slider on the inner third. Maybe Will Smith just letting him know, hey, if you're going to throw another one of those, you better bury it.
Schneider on first, Clement on second, Okamoto on third. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. The Dodgers lead it 3-1. Tap of the plate from Brandon Valenzuela, playing in his 3rd career Major League game. He faces a 1-2 from Alex Vesia. Swing and a miss, he got him. Elevated the heater at 92. And there are 2 down. The Blue Jays in danger here of not scoring after bases loaded, nobody out.
That's a really, really good pitch. Vesia knows, like I said, that Valenzuela is relatively new to the big leagues. He's not throwing him anything in the strike zone there, something he can make contact with. A good 4-seam heater right above that strike zone.
Now it'll be George Springer, who doubled in a run in the 6th. Can he come up big again? Bases loaded, 2 down. And the pitch from Vesia. Popped up foul, back behind the plate, out of play, 0-1. Tonight, the Blue Jays are 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. It's the Springer double last inning and the Clement bunt hit this inning. Clement is the tying run. He's standing on second. 0-1 from Vesia. Called strike, fastball to make it 0-2. They loaded the bases with no outs, just need 1 base hit to the outfield to tie the game. 0-2 pitch. Springer lofts the ball high in the air, shallow. Tucker moving in, has a beat on it, and he'll make the grab to end the inning. The Blue Jays load the bases.